and the glory.
And welcome to the Sunday Audibles 2022 NFL Draft Show live and in Technicolor. That's right, folks. It's that night of the year where the circus meets the Oscars, where dreams are given and some taken away. Who will be the guy sitting in the draft room waiting his turn? We all remember Aaron Rodgers. Who will be the guy who jumps to the top of the board? Well, after a full football season, college football season, and an off season of combines, player days, college days. Sorry, guys. Individual interviews and tons of mock drafts. We are here and we are ready for the 2022 NFL Draft right here for the very first time on the NFL's Sunday Audible. That's right. That's right. We are the Sunday Audible. We are here tonight ready to bring you our analysis of the first round of the NFL Draft. And I couldn't be happier to be doing this. Well, this is probably my sixth time in a row. We usually do these on Thursdays with the Hard Rock and Sports Show, but we thought we'd bring in the third member of the crew and the show that features the NFL, the Sunday Audible. So without further ado, I want to bring on my co-hosts. The first guy, we won't hold against the fact he wears the green color, one of the most pitiful franchises in history, but he's the Pope around here. He's my dear friend of 40 years. And he's got one of the most unique analysis of the NFL. And he's mostly right, which I hate to admit. He's, of course, my co-host and my buddy, Mr. Jeff Towinski. Let's get him on first. F.A., welcome aboard.
Yeah.
Ready for a little NFL draft?
No, I'm beaming with pride right now, man, that you just said in front of all of these people that I am right.
I have to say, you've called a lot of it right. You got a lot wrong, but you got a lot right, which is more than most
wrong. All right, we'll worry about that off the air.
Exactly.
So I'm concentrating on what I did, which was get most of it right.
Well, I think we're all excited. It's that night of the year, but we got a special. I won't say special guest. We got our third host and our buddy and a guy who brings an air of sanity to the lunacy that usually partakes of the show. He will be the fashionista of tonight's show with many Cher-like wardrobe changes.
Now, you know what?
God.
That's a good name for him right there, Cher.
Cher.
We'll call him Cher for the rest of the night.
Well, he's more Sonny Bono than Cher to me, but what the hell? He's my pal. He's our pal, and he's the head top dog over at RFL Records. He's, of course, John Marhefka, and he's sporting the Jaguar colors to start the show. What's up, Johnny boy?
Hey, do you guys believe in life after love? If I'm Cher, man, I gotta throw it out there. I don't want to be Cher, but happy draft night, guys.
It all depends on how many costume changes you manage tonight, which will either cement your name as Cher or John. We'll let that happen, play out, and see what happens.
Guys, well, it's going to be an interesting night. Let me tell everybody how this is going to work. So we got about an hour of back and forth. We got a few things that we have a lot to talk about. This is, to me, and I'm going to ask the boys this, but for me, this is one of the most interesting drafts I've ever got the chance to sit here and watch, because while there's plenty of big names from the sense that, if you watch college football, you know who Aiden Hutchinson is, and you know who Sauce Gardner is, and you know who Jameson Winston is, Will Williams is. But this isn't a draft, guys, that's strewn with the quarterbacks, the big dogs, So before we got my dad's online. I want to get him on. Before we get to anything else, I want to get each of you guys' perspective on the 2022 NFL Draft. So, John, you're the rookie tonight, so I'm going to let you go first. What's your take on this draft? Is it exciting? Is this a boring draft? What is your overall view of this draft?
I think this is going to be an exciting draft, Tommy. And I think the reason is because there's so many unpredictables here when you look at this class. I mean, we don't have that stud quarterback that we always see. You know, the guy that's that first pick, and hey, we know he's going here, or we know the top 5. I mean, this is the draft where even the number 1 pick is still in question. But I'm excited for this. I think it's going to be a great class. I think there's going to be a lot of crazy things happen, and just like we saw back in the 2021 season. Mm-hmm. It seems like it's going to be one of those deals, but I'm looking forward to a great night and having some fun here.
Awesome. Now, Jeff, I noticed a couple of new things this week. One, up? I see the draft lid. We've gotten rid of the stocking cap, which was an embarrassment to the show.
I don't have that with me because I'm not in my usual spot.
Well, that's the second part was going to be. I noticed you're in a different spot tonight. Is the wife relegated you to the new shed?
No, not at all. I'm downstairs in front of the 60-inch TV.
Nice.
In a room that really nobody has been in much at all.
Okay.
For quite some time. I could show you something. You got to promise not to laugh.
I can't make that promise.
Nice. There we go.
Yeah.
And
the draft is that here's my view for tonight, 60-inch TV.
Nice.
And I still have a Christmas tree up down here because I never got around to getting it. But now that the shed is here, that'll be coming down. But I really wanted to add.
He just shut himself off, John. So we'll have to fill some few minutes until he gets back. But Johnny, I agree with you. I think this is an interesting draft in the sense that there's many possibilities in this first round.
It is. It's crazy, Tommy. I mean, we've been looking at this, since the season ended, really. I mean, you get back into this and look at this list of players, and I just scratch my head. I mean, I've gone through several mocks just trying to figure it all out, and I don't think we're ever going to figure it all out. None of the experts ever do, and it's always something that's crazy that happens. So I think that's what it's going to be like this year, Tommy.
I agree. So, Jeff, you were in the middle of giving us your take on the draft. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's it's like right up until draft day, which is today. We get the news just a little while ago with the New York Giants, what their intentions were. Does this throw a wrench into the entire draft? And I say, yeah, how you doing, Mike Weissman? How's it going, buddy? But
well, Jeff, tell everybody what you're talking about. You're giving. We know, but tell everybody.
I'm leading into it, and that's the Giants not exercising the 5th-year option on Daniel Jones. I think that it speaks volumes that they're doing it on or draft day. Do the Giants go quarterback? Does this change everything for the Giants? Does this make everybody else nervous? Is this going to make a flurry of trade activity? Does this mean the Giants are going to reach this year? I would say the Giants would be reaching a quarterback. Does Baker Mayfield come to the New York area? A whole bunch of different questions that I'm sure within the next hour and a half we'll have better answers for, but an amazing amount of stuff that could happen very, very shortly. And John, I don't know what your take on all of that is. I don't know if you heard about that, the Giants not exercising that option. I know that me and Tommy have gone back and forth about this for a long time, but I didn't think it was going to happen on draft day. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I see that too, Jeff. I mean, I saw that, and I think, really now where are they going? I mean, I see what you're saying. I mean, are they going to make a move for Mayfield? You got a new regime in there right now. Do these guys want to make a big splash right out of the gate? I mean, I think that'd be a huge splash if you went quarterback in the first round. I mean, you got the 2 picks. I really don't even know what to say on that, guys. I mean, I think that's a head scratcher, and we're just going to see how that plays out, like you said, Jeff, in the next hour and a half.
Tom, you got to be nervous about the prospects of that happening this year, no?
No, I am. I'm absolutely not. I didn't think anybody thought at all that they would be exercising that option, and rightfully so for a lot of reasons. Injury history, the fact that he has not played fully the way he possibly can. And, I think there was now today making that decision today and putting it out there, I think is a strange thing for me. And I'm curious what they were thinking. So, did the Giants give everybody a little false thing, a little smoke screen? We're not exercising it. We're not saying today, maybe we'll draft a quarterback tonight. Maybe we'll drop down and draft a quarterback. I think it's all part of the thing, but I'm not reading into it. They basically said they weren't picking this thing up this year anyway.
Yeah, no, I hear you, and I just think that it's kind of odd though on draft night. Is it a smoke screen that they're looking to maybe find a trade partner and do something differently? I don't know. I don't know who the quarterbacks are that are up for free agency next year, if there is any. I don't know who's going to be coming out of the draft next year. So, I mean, there's a lot going on right there. Maybe they're looking past this year. And by the way, before you go any further, I want to just thank Tommy. I got a package in the mail the other day, and it was this hat that I want to thank you for that publicly.
Okay, there was a bit of a meaning to it. I couldn't look at the Santa Claus hat anymore.
Well, that's fine. I could always talk about it if it makes you feel better. But
I couldn't look at it any further, so I said I have to do it. Now, if you guys will notice, there's some new things tonight. We're going to pick up my dad in a second, but on the bottom we have the scroll with all with the first round.
Very nice.
So as the players get picked, I will update the scroll, and we should be able to fit most of the first round. And if we get that far, I don't know how long we'll go, but we'll get them in there, and we'll add a little bit here. The way everything's going to work tonight, folks, is for the first hour we'll kind of go back and forth on some topics. You saw Jeff throwing some stuff around. Once the draft starts, John will do all the odd number picks. He'll do the announcement, tell you who's being picked, give you a little background on the player, and Jeff will do all the even numbers for that way. I would say if we do manage to get to pick 20, I think John will handle pick 20 as that is the Steeler pick, or unless any of our teams make trades along the way. If the Jets make a trade at an odd number, Jeff will handle it. If the Steelers make a move up, Jeff will handle the Jets, and John will handle basically anything else, and the Steelers, of course, if they move. And then we're just going to kind of go back and forth on this, and in the meantime, we'll have some fun, talk about the draft, and see what happens. Guys, so you know what? Let me bring my dad in and see what he's got to say, and then we'll get on to this. If anybody else out there wants to offer their 2 cents, the number 347-826-993-4. Check it out, call it in, and you can jump right in, or throw a little message up on the board for the boys. They'll be happy to answer any of your questions about it. But for now, let's get my Pops on, and let's see what he's got to say. What's up, Pop?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
How you doing, Mr. Florio?
Hey, Mr. Florio, how are you?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm torn apart because I saw today that they're not honoring his 5th year for the poor giant quarterback.
Yep.
But I don't see them going for anything. They need. I keep saying it over and over. They need front line.
Mm-hmm.
They need offensively and defensively. You could get Johnny Unitas. You could bring the greatest quarterback in the world here, Tom Brady.
There you go.
And what does it do? You got no front line. You got nothing. He snaps the ball. He's down on the ground. I think they could, if it was me, at least take one of the trade upwards, get a couple of picks, and go for some defensemen. They have to have defense. They have none. They're terrible.
Well, I mean, I'll let the boys handle that one. John, go ahead. You could take the first one with my dad.
I think he's spot on. I mean, I think, you look at what Daniel Jones has been under, at least the last couple of seasons. I mean, not only injuries, but the protection. And, is this somewhere where they go with like an Evan Neal or somebody like that? I mean, I think that guy's a perfect fit there for somebody that can help protect. I would like to see that team really get healthy, for once, and have Daniel Jones have the full complement of, of people around him. I mean, Barkley's been hurt, for the last 2 seasons, really, because he hasn't been himself since that injury. The receivers constantly going down. But, the front line is on both sides of the ball is what wins football games. It wins in the playoffs, and it sets the tone for any type of season. So, like your dad said, I mean, you could put Unitas back there, Brady. I mean, Randall Cunningham in his heyday, full speed and escapability. And you're going to get the same thing. You need to have that protection up front. You need to be able to, to hold offenses in check in order to keep your team into the game. And you don't want, Daniel Jones to have to constantly try to win games. So I definitely see your dad's point, and I totally agree.
Okay, Jeff, you got to give you 4 minutes, Jeff, to kind of add to that. Go ahead.
Well, listen, the Giants didn't say that they're walking away from Daniel Jones. They just said they're not picking up his 5th-year option right now.
Right.
Which is a smart move because look what the Panthers are going through right now with Sam Darnold because they jumped the gun thinking they got the quarterback of the future after 3 games. So the Giants are actually being smart about it if you think. They're going to probably give him a 1-year audition. Mm-hmm. You got Tyrod Taylor waiting in the wings. That's the thing that would get me if I'm a Giants fan and would make me wonder that Daniel Jones is not going to be on a very long leash, if at a leash at all. They may have him on a choke chain. So as soon as he misses a beat, that's it. Tyrod Taylor goes in and cleans up the mess. But listen, what better way to say, all right, prove it. You want to be the quarterback of this team, you got to prove it. They could still go after an offensive lineman, go after whatever pieces they want to help him because they're going to help the next quarterback anyway. So I don't see anything. I mean, unless they go total defense, which would maybe be a head scratcher for them, I see no reason why they shouldn't go after offensive linemen if they get the chance and just see what happens. Maybe Daniel Jones can be a serviceable quarterback for the Giants. Honestly, I don't think so. I don't see that happening only because of what past history has shown and even the present with Sam Darnold. I think that's going to scare a lot of people. That quarterback class, I think, is scaring a lot of people. Josh Rosen, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield. A lot of people are going to be like, what are we doing here? How did this happen? All of these guys that were supposed to be good, and the one that was iffy, Josh Allen, is a Super Bowl caliber quarterback pretty much. Mm-hmm. So let's see what happens. Let's not count him out yet. Unless the Giants, of course, draft the quarterback tonight, and then you know that it's pretty much over for him, I would feel.
Yeah, I would think that would be the strangest thing ever, Pop. But, Pop, I think I agree with you. I could see them taking an offensive lineman with the first pick, and the second pick is going to depend on the run. If everybody's taking defensive linemen, which a lot of people think, they'll grab one of the 2 defensive backs, either Gardner or Stingley. But I think the Giants are going to come out of it with 2 of 3 players, a lineman, offensive, defensive, or a defensive back for sure.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you guys. And Jeff, I think you hit it on the head. Both of you hit it on the head. And I think it's going to be very interesting because what they did with Donaldson just totally threw like a bomb in the middle. They don't know now the Jets whether the Giants are going to go for a quarterback. They're going to make a trade. Are they going to trade up? That's what I would do, but that's why I'm sitting here telling you.
That's why we're all sitting here doing this.
You got to think the Giants are more in the driver's seat right now than you think if you really think about it. Because they didn't cut ties with Jones.
Nope.
All right. All they said is they're not picking up his 5th-year option, which means maybe next year they could sign him to a cheaper deal than he would have gotten right now. Maybe they sign him. Maybe he has a great year and they sign him. You don't know. Mm-hmm. Maybe this is I'm not going to say a ploy because now other teams that need a quarterback may go after them and say, listen, they're going to cause some draft movement because what better way to get the guy you want than to have the people in front of you have a trade because maybe Pittsburgh wants a quarterback that bad that they jump up or Atlanta wants a quarterback that bad and they jump up and make a trade with somebody ahead of the Giants. And the Giants could just sit back and wait for their guy to fall right in their lap.
Yeah. No, agreed. There's a lot of stuff that could be going on. Pop, good call, Pop. Appreciate it.
Okay, no problem. Guys, enjoy it tonight. I know you're going to do good.
Thanks, Dad.
I'll talk to you over the weekend.
You got it, Dad.
Be good, Mr. Florio.
Yeah.
That's my dad. Checks in every week with us, and we have our first live read of the night, Jeff.
Okay, let me get that over here. And I am all set. You ready to go, man?
Oh, it's all you.
All right. Well, you are watching the Sunday Audible live coverage of the 2022 NFL Draft via live stream on the show's Facebook page and also YouTube, I believe. And, feel free to come in, comment, leave your questions, and talk to us, man. Let us know what's going on. If you got a favorite team out there, as long as it's not the Giants, we'll listen to it.
So we've been talking a lot about the Giants. I'll finish the Giant thing up right now with the Giants could go a lot of ways. A lot of people think they're going to trade one of those picks, probably the number 7 pick, and build draft capital for next year because they don't have a lot of money to spend this year. I disagree. I think you can't pass up talent, and next year is next year. So I think the Giants take 2 picks. I think they're going to take. I'll be shocked unless they get overwhelmed. And I'll tell you guys later.
What they have this year, Tom?
The Giants?
Yeah.
Far as I know, they have 8 picks. So I think total of 7. Yeah, I think it's 8 picks total.
8 picks. So it makes no sense to trade that first round pick unless there's nobody that they want.
Well,
and they could get 2 first rounders back.
Well, again, I think this draft is very deep. So to me, if you can, if somebody at 12 or 15 or someone that really wants to jump up there in front of the Panthers, or in front of Seattle, and the Giants have that pick, I think it's Falcons. Then you know what? If you're the Giants and you could get, switch picks this year, you still have 2 number ones and get a number 1 next year. Why not? I would certainly think about it. I'm not saying I would do it, but I would think about it. But let's get into your teams a little bit now. We're up till 7:30, then we have John's live read. So Jeff, give us a little breakdown on the Jets. One thing I'll ask you: a lot of people think, and I do, if the Jets take an offensive lineman at 4, which I don't think they will, that would be more of an indictment on Mekhi Becton and what they think of him right now, considering that they were signing George Fant to play opposite of him one way or the other. So what's your thoughts on the Jets?
Yeah, it could definitely be an indictment on what they think of Mekhi Becton, without a doubt. But not for nothing, they also have a rookie quarterback that did nothing. I was, they keep saying that over the last 5 games of the last season that he didn't throw a single interception. He also didn't break 220 yards, I believe. The most he did was about 215, 217. There was a couple games, I think there was at least 2, maybe 3 games where he didn't even crack 100 yards. So they need as much offensive lineman help as any other team in the league right now. So an offensive lineman is not going to be a detriment to that team. I don't know how old Fant is, if he's a long-term
early 30s.
He's not really a long-term answer. If you could get another tackle, move Becton over to the right side, get one of these guys for the left side or something of that nature, why not do it? Personally, I would love to see them get Sauce Gardner with the first pick and then get themselves a real good receiver. But you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know. I mean, Salah supposedly doesn't like to take cornerbacks that early in the draft, but a lot of people are comparing Gardner to a lot of great names, some of them that have played for the Jets, with Cromartie. So time will tell, but I just hope that they make the right solid pick. You don't have to draft a superstar, just pick somebody that's going to help and contribute from this point forward, and it's going to help you with your team and with your quarterback. So I
agree with you. I agree with you on the second pick. I think it's definitely receiver. I'm going to think my draft. I have Sauce Gardner in that spot because I think they do take him. But we'll get more into the corners and who's playing well. But I think the Jets actually going to go defensive line at that point. I think they're gonna grab one of those guys, Jermaine Johnson or Walker. And especially if Hutchinson drops that far, I think they'd steal him in a heartbeat, Jeff.
Well, if he drops that far, yeah. I mean, this is a need that they've had for years, 15 years, since they traded John Abraham. So you just don't know, Tom. Nobody is tied to anybody specific this year in this draft. So it's so up in the air. It's unbelievable. I think I was saying all along to you that I couldn't care less about this draft this year. But now as it's getting closer, I'm getting more excited because it's almost like where's it going? You don't know where it's going. And even the first couple picks, I don't think they're going to dictate the way the rest of it's going to go. I think we're going to all be in for a surprise.
I would agree with that. Now, John, we haven't talked much about the Steelers, and they've had an interesting offseason signing Trubisky to be their replacement for Big Ben. They've lost a couple of players. There's been some changes up in Steel Country. Tell us about your Steelers and what you're expecting tonight.
Well, what I'm expecting is what we discussed on last week's show is Kevin Colbert, his last season going into retirement. I think this guy wants to leave with a splash. I mean, he wants to put the final exclamation point on everything that he's done for this organization. And as far as I could see, I mean, I like Mitch Trubisky. We saw some good things that he did in Chicago, early. But then what Mitch Trubisky are we going to see coming into Pittsburgh? I mean, he has more weapons here. He has, he has one of the best running backs, one of the best young running backs in the league, multifaceted. It's kind of like, what he had up in Chicago early. I really think that with some of the needs that Pittsburgh has, I see quarterback, I see defensive line as two of the, key areas that they're looking for. They need to be able to stop the run. That really hurt them, definitely at the end of the season. They gave up a couple of 200-yard games back, and that's just not, the Steeler way. I think, I really don't know where they're going. Just like most of the teams in this draft, you're looking, you look at this board and everything's is a big question mark. But I see quarterback personally, but it could be anything, Tommy. It's a tough one.
No, and I think we'd all kind of agree that you'd want to set yourself up, but is Kenny Pickett the guy? Are you? It's a lot of draft capital to get high up in the draft here. Now, if Pickett or Willis drops below 12, if they make it out of the first round, then I would be surprised. Let me ask you guys, Jeff. I'll ask you first. Do you expect any of the teams in the top 10? As they are built right now, I'm not saying that if somebody trades up, as they're built right now, do you expect anybody to draft a quarterback?
Tom, you just don't know. You really, honestly and truly, you don't know. I mean, you have Carolina Panthers at 6. They may be looking to draft a quarterback, but then again, their owner turns around and gives a vote of confidence for Rule and for Donald. Now, after today's news, you got the Giants. Are the Giants thinking quarterback? Are the Falcons thinking quarterback? Is Seattle thinking quarterback? Are the Redskins thinking quarterback? Well, no, the Redskins, they already got Wentz, but you never know. Mm-hmm. You don't know. The Vikings at 13 or 12 they are. Would they be looking to get somebody behind Cousins for a year or two? You don't know. You really don't know. I think there's probably still more questions at the quarterback position around the league than there are solid answers, and at least in my eyes, because there's so many teams that don't have the long-term answer on their team, I feel.
I would agree with that, John. Yeah, I think the big thing for me, John, I think that if the one landing spot for me, I'm watching Seattle at 9 because I think there's a reason they don't have a quarterback at this point. If you really look at it.
I think they're going to go after Mayfield, Tom.
You know what, Jeff? I'm not disagreeing with that. I think what I'm watching is what happens tonight. Does somebody jump up there and get one of these two quarterbacks early? If let's say the Panthers or somebody sneaks up there or the Falcons just ahead of them, which I don't expect, but if somebody goes up there and snatches, then I think Baker Mayfield could be in play for the Seattle Seahawks. I think Seattle's looking at Malik Willis, and they're going to try to snatch him there at 9 and build around him, John, for the future.
I think that's great to hear that too, Tommy, because that's one of my standouts right there. Seeing what Seattle's going to do. I mean, are they going to go into a season with Drew Lock as their starter? I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, Then Jeff said it earlier too with Atlanta. I mean, Marcus Mariota. I mean, where do they sit with this guy? I mean, do they want to go into the season and say, look, this guy's our long-term answer? We don't know what we're going to see from him. We don't know what we're going to see from Sam Darnold either. And, a lot of the things that these guys do is kind of like the show Survivor, if you guys ever watched that. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of lying. There's a lot of deceit going on. There's a lot of guys, playing for different positioning and saying they're going to do something, just to make another team think. There's a lot of strategy that goes into this too. So I think we're seeing some of that as well.
Real quick, the one team that I feel, and I may be going on a serious limb with this one, that I think is not going to go after a quarterback is going to be the Detroit Lions. And if I was the Detroit Lions, I would not waste the pick on a quarterback this year simply because I don't think there's one worthy to be picked that high. Second of all, you still have Goff, and I think that you should ride him out for a little bit longer before you push the issue and go for a quarterback at number 2 in this draft. Maybe next year's draft will be another story, but I just think that this year's draft is pushing it too much.
I would agree with that. I think if you're the Lions and you're looking at one of the quarterbacks, you're probably looking at Corral or Sam Hubbard in the second round. That's if I were them, I would be looking for a guy later in the draft, John.
I don't even think I would go that soon, Tom.
Again, if you're the Lions, I think if you're going to take one, it's one of those guys if they're still on the board in round 2. Good, John.
Oh, hey guys, while we're talking about this, I want to go with something. Right now, Sunday Audible is an affiliate for Fanatics, NFLshop.com. So you're able to get on the Sunday Audible, SundayAudible.com, grab your NFL merchandise from NFL Shop, Fanatics. I mean, they got the cool draft hats like these guys are wearing right now. We got the throwbacks. Well, hopefully we'll see this from the Jags this year, and I doubt they're going to do that. But Jets #1. Yeah, grab your merchandise there. And we're official affiliate right now. You're going to see a lot of different things coming from us, different ads, different promotions. And we're also going to be doing a lot of giveaways for Sunday Audible merchandise. So SundayAudible.com. Check us out on Facebook, Sunday Audible, Twitter, Sunday Audible, YouTube right now if you're viewing live. A lot of good things going on.
Awesome, Johnny boy, and thank you very much for that second live read. We're trying to get a little more professional around here. Try to Jeff's first one, so we'll get this. We're getting our stuff down here. So again,
what I liked about professionalism tonight. I don't mean to cut you off, Tom, but sometimes you just got to jump out there.
Go ahead.
Professionalism is letting other people know when someone is right. Okay. I don't want to go out on, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I called for the head of Gettleman. I got it. I called for the head of the coach. I got it. I called for Jones's head. I'm getting it. The next is Barkley. All right. Remove the head. The body dies.
Here it is.
It seems like all of your wisdom is with one team. All of your wisdom is one team, is built around one team, by the way.
I have studied the New York Giants so much this offseason. I've waited for, I'm fucking salivating over what's going on right now. If you happen to see the computer go like this, that's because something popped up and is knocking the table. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my God, hey guys! That's Jeff Tolwinski. The other handsome guy is John Marhefka, and I'm Tommy Florio. Welcome to the Sunday Audible and our special edition of the 2022 NFL Draft right here for the very first time with the Sunday Audible. So thank you for joining us. We hope you keep the TV on the draft, but you keep the radio or your computer locked into us for some great, unique, in-depth analysis and coverage of this 2022 NFL Draft. So, guys, we're about 26 minutes from the opening bell. Shortly thereafter, the Jags will be on the clock, Jeff.
So me and John each gave our thoughts on who would want our team to get, and you never told us about your team, the New York Giants. Tom, we got to press you for an answer. What are you looking to hoping to see happen tonight?
Again, I'm for the first time in a while, I feel like best player available. I certainly want an offensive lineman. They need one. I would. It depends on the run. I would love to see him come out of there with an offensive lineman. I'd love to see it be Neal. I think Neal is the best of the bunch. The other guys each have a little bit of a flaw to them. Neal's a little more versatile. I think he could play the right side a little easier than either one of the other two guys, Iquanu or Cross. But here's the bottom line: give me an offensive lineman, and then give me one of the good defensive linemen. If all the good ones are gone, if all the big names are gone, I'll be happy, just thrilled to take either Gardner or Derek Stingley. So if I come out of there with two of those three, it's been a good night. I put the head on the pillow tonight, and I'll feel good tomorrow morning.
I totally agree with that too, Tommy. I mean, you strengthen, both sides of the ball. In the trenches. I mean, Evan Neal is somebody that's, if you listen to what this guy, he said all the right things too in his interviews. Yeah. I mean, he's a solid person. He really comes and he brings a great work ethic. And the guy's I don't even know what to say, man. He's like a pillar out there. He does so many good things, and they need that.
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy who's 6'7", 337, and runs a 4.95 40-yard dash. I mean, that's a big man. Quick in the running game. He's got some flaws, and I think they all do. I just think his least of the flaws, although the flag is out now. He's got the whole army out. If he goes and gets the Santa hat, I'm closing down for the night. I'm calling it an evening.
He has the tree up, so the hat has to be there somewhere.
That's true. You're right. I can't even argue that one. But this is an interesting.
All the toys tonight, baby.
This is So this is going to be fun. Let's talk about some of the other teams in the draft. There you go, Johnny boy. There you go. Let's talk about some of the other teams, and let's start right at the top of the draft. John, you're wearing the uniform. Where there's a lot of needs there. Do you want to get some help, guys? Do you want to get some help for Trevor Lawrence and one of the big bodies? The defense is just desperate for an edge rusher. Boys, give me your thoughts. Where does the top of the draft go?
I guess I'll go first. I'm going to say, edge rusher here for these guys. I mean, being able to, to see the two guys that I have on the top of my board, Trayvon Walker and Aiden Hutchinson. I think there's just two that you can't pass up. I mean, what do they want to do? I mean, these guys, are both game changers. But I see, Hutchinson with a whole lot of speed. I mean, he beats multiple blocks. He's he's good. He's a guy that can change games for this team. Trayvon Walker is the same. I mean, this guy can play, in different positions. You're able to utilize him, move him around the field. He's great from sideline to sideline. A lot of speed, makes a ton of plays. You saw a couple, plays in the highlights, man, where this guy, right from the line of scrimmage and he's running 30, 40 yards downfield, catching a back out of the backfield. I mean, that's mega hustle right there. So I could see them going either way right there.
I got to think, man, if I'm the Jaguars, I wouldn't go defense with the first pick. I would go something to help Trevor Lawrence because let's face it, he didn't have the greatest season last year and he needs to establish himself. They need to know what he has. And I mean, me and Tommy have butted heads over this one over the years, but I'm a firm believer in I don't want to wait 2-3 years to see what you got. Let's see what you got, get him on the field, because if he goes out on the field this year, whoever he is, a quarterback, and he struggles, next year he should be a little bit better. And he's going to get all of those growing pains out of the way. You don't want to build up the team, build it up, and then all of a sudden put in a rookie quarterback, and then what happens? He has problems, growing pains, and now the whole team starts to break down again. So I think with Trevor Lawrence already having 1 year under the belt, you need to help this guy out, whether it's offensive line help. I think it's too soon for a receiver, but I see them going offensive lineman and, trying to help him his game that way. I think that's the best move for the Jaguars tonight.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. I do think, though, most experts have one of the defensive linemen going at the top of the draft. Most of them have this young man right here, and Aiden Hutchinson being the number one pick in the draft. Some say, a better version of Joey Bosa, and some people have equated him to a better version of T.J. Watt J.J. Watt, excuse me. So it's going to be an interesting top of the draft. And Jeff, you brought up an interesting one in the Detroit Lions. The Lions could use a quarterback. But I wouldn't take one there. I think the Lions are going to make the big move, and I think the big move is who takes Kayvon Thibodeau. And I think the Lions are going to be the team with Dan Campbell, the coach. I think he wants that guy. I think he's going to go get him.
God, I hope he's gone before the Jets pick. That's all I'm saying.
Are you one of those guys? Are you one of those people who think that there's a little too much in the way of character issues, and you don't want to take the chance?
Listen, I don't know much about the guy, to be honest with you, other than what I read. And none of what I've read so far has been good. So to tell you the truth, when you have Douglas and Salah trying to change everything about the Jets team, the last thing you need to do is add a question mark to something that already has a lot of questions around it and with it. So I would rather see them pass on him, get a solid player that's going to help this team now. They made a lot of moves in the offseason. Let's get the ship pointing in the right direction instead of just circling the bowl, like a giant turd waiting to go down. We can't have that anymore. You need to have a good, solid direction, and I think they laid the foundation for that. But, we need to see it happen and start to see some movement in the right direction, and taking him is not going to be the answer. That's just going to make the water very, very murky, I feel.
Well, John, he seems to be this year's version of Mika Parsons in that, most people think he might be the most talented guy, but most people have him below Hutchinson. And all the rumors and all the talk seems to be about Trayvon Walker and Jermaine Johnson flying up the draft board. And some people actually have them at the top of the board. What's your take on the defensive, the edge rushers?
Well, I liked a lot what Jeff just said too about with Thibodeau and the Jets. I mean, you're trying to change the culture of that organization, and I think they're taking a lot of steps in the right direction. And then to have a guy in there that's it's a question mark, with maybe some character issues. I don't think you want to, start out with there's a lot of high expectations there right now. I mean, they're trying to build something special. It's been a long time. They're building a good young organization there, and I think that'd be a bad way to start with a question mark. And I think the top guys that we discussed, Trayvon Walker, Hutchinson, those guys right there, are more proven commodities, I would think, and more NFL ready, at least in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And the NFL and the organizations, the way these guys run things, they look for professionalism and they look for, the way these guys conduct themselves off the field just as much as on. So, being that high up in the draft, the expectation level is massive. So, I just think with the question marks, I think that's the reason that he's, he is the question mark that he is.
I agree. And I think, Jeff, to the point that I made about Mika Parsons, I think a team like the Cowboys, who have had success over the last few years, even though not much in the playoffs, they can kind of fall on they can extend themselves and make a bad pick or take a guy who's questionable, and it could go either way. Whereas teams like the Lions and the Jaguars, the Jets, the Giants, they haven't had the success, and they're a little more, let's say, skeptical on a player that's not a guarantee. So the risk and reward is huge, but teams like that don't want to make that move.
And I understand what you're saying, but you want to know something, Tom? You got to think of it this way too. Maybe using the Dallas Cowboys is not the greatest example, only because they've had a lot of guys that tread the water of becoming serious felons, and they got to keep themselves out of trouble, and some of them have made it and some of them haven't. Mika Parsons, I remember last year or the year before, whenever it is he got drafted last year, that there was some questions and some issues surrounding him. But in this one with Thibodeau, nobody is saying that, this is a great pick. He's a solid pick. Nobody's saying that. Everybody always, anything I read starts off with, there's some issues, there's character issues, there's flaws. Is he playing hard? Nobody ever comes out and says this is a hard worker. He plays hard. He's on the field 60 minutes a game. Nobody ever starts off their assessment about him. They give the bad, and then they'll come out and they'll say, he could be great. He could this. He could that. That alone just makes me. I wouldn't want him. I would not want him.
No,
too many questions.
No, it's fair. No, it's fair. It's a fair comment, John.
I think it is. I mean, like I said, character issues, going into, like you said, Tommy, these teams that are always high in the draft, I mean, they're looking for, culture changes here. I mean, you look at Jacksonville and where they've been. I mean, they're always at the top of the draft board. Detroit, I think Dan Campbell's doing a lot of good things in Detroit.
I agree.
And we discussed that, all of last season. That team plays with a lot of heart. It plays with, the passion. There's a lot of good young players up there and some good talent, and Jared Goff. I mean, we're looking at this guy's just a couple years removed from the Super Bowl going to Detroit.
Yeah.
So the leadership's there. I don't think they want to do anything to jeopardize the direction that they're going.
I agree. I think there's enough. I think there's enough. What's the right word? They have enough faith in Jared Goff as a quarterback that they're not going to spend the number 2 pick in the draft on a reach. If there was a guy at the top of the draft that everybody thought was the guy, I would tell you that there's a chance. But nobody believes in any of these guys being pro ready, and I don't think they're capable of making that move. But guys, there's a couple teams I think we have to watch out for tonight. John Steelers, I think, are one, and I think they've got an eye on moving up. But I think a team that I really expect to make a jump tonight, I believe they have 2 number 1 picks. And I think they have a huge thirst for a receiver, and that's the Green Bay Packers. I think the Green Bay Packers will do anything possible to get up. Now, I think they're hoping that, some of those bigger guys are going to drop because they don't want to give up 2 number 1 picks to move all the way up. Because don't forget, there's a chart on how this works. You got to go from here to here, and you got to give up a certain amount of stuff. And I don't think they want to sell their soul for it. But guys, I think if you're them, you lost Devontae Adams, you gave Aaron Rodgers a boatload of money, and the window is short. They got to go get him somebody, and I think that's a team that I'm going to watch to see if they jump up in this draft.
Yeah, I agree.
Great.
I agree, and I can't believe that Rodgers isn't bugging out over that trade. This is a special delivery.
Uh-oh.
I can't believe there's special delivery coming.
Here it comes. It's here.
There we go.
There it is.
There we go.
Guys, we're experiencing technical difficulties. You're seeing right now a mirage of a football player's jersey.
Let me tell you something. 50-something years ago, probably went a little something like this.
Oh, no.
Joe Broadway was handed the fucking sweater. Put it on.
He's gearing up now.
And greatness has arrived, baby. There we go. There we go.
By the way, this is the real number 12 right there.
This was the first number 12.
This is the real number 12.
That bobblehead, I don't even recognize that guy.
No.
That's the guy on the Hertz commercials that I shut off all the time.
Well, the man is suited up and ready. We're about 11 minutes from the start. I've also already seen what looks like the national anthem played. We see some helicopters flying over, and a couple years ago this was Sin City and off limits. Now it is the heart of the NFL tonight, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Right now, do you realize that there's more people at the draft, okay, than there were at some of the 2 years ago to football games?
Yes.
Right after the pandemic.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy.
And I don't see a mask in sight, man. I fucking love it. And by the way, I don't know if Will Cloak is still watching. I didn't get a chance. Will, what's going on?
It's not Will Cloak. We're about 5 minutes from Jeff's next live read, and we're about 11 minutes from the start of the draft. We're still working our way down the lines. There's a lot of interesting stories in the top 10, and I know we're concentrating on that tonight. We have 8 teams. Now, let me ask you a question, John. Is this the draft to have there's 8 teams with 2 number 1 picks? Is this the draft to have that capital, or did they get this a year too early?
I think it really depends on the team and what they're looking for. I mean, the Giants, like we discussed earlier, Tommy, the lines, I mean, they need help up front on both sides. Definitely need to have somebody to protect Daniel Jones. Yeah, that 12 right there. But I think really it's how do they want to handle it? I mean, and they have the 2 picks that are kind of close together too. So you're high on both picks. So you have a lot of good players right there. And the Giants can fill a lot of needs. The Jets can fill a lot of needs. I mean, I think it's good to be there. I really do. Just me personally. Yeah,
I agree. I think, to me, you can never have too much draft capital. The worst case is if you get to a point and you're not going to get value for your pick number, you can easily trade out. There's a lot of people looking to make moves in this draft. And I think I like it because I think it's a very talented draft. I think there's a lot of good players you can get here for the future. I think there's a lot of solid players, a lot of depth here. So, Jeff, are you still with us? Luckily, we don't see your face, but I'm stuck looking at that jersey.
Listen,
here, I got a 12 for you guys.
In the first round, if you have 2 picks, it's the way to go, man. You know why? Because you just never know what you're doing.
There's my 12 right there.
You could get anything you want. You could get draft capital, like you said. You could get a sleeper player you don't know. The only problem though is that this draft in particular is not one where I would want 2 picks at this point in time from a certain team. Some of these teams are just a little bit too good to have 2 picks right now. Maybe you trade further down into next year's draft or something. But a team like the Giants, the Jets, and a couple others that have 2 number ones high up in the draft, and you're a bad team, yeah, you need the pick. You need to get the players. So why not? Certain teams like the Green Bay Packers, them having 2 picks, I think that I would try to turn around and trade one of them right out of the first round and get more picks, maybe get into next year's first round, get another first rounder for next year. That's what I would do. But the teams like the Giants and Jets, they have to hit them both tonight.
Oh, I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that. That you listen, you have 2 picks, you got to come out of there with two live bodies, guys who are ready to play next year for you, one way or the other, because you just can't afford not to. And again, guys, Sunday Audible here, 2022 live NFL draft show, starring Mr. Jeff Towinski, John Majewka, and myself. We're here for at least part of the first round. We're hoping to get the top 10 before the night's over, but the draft happens all weekend. And of course, you'll catch the replay of the show on our website, going to SundayAudible.com. And of course, John's already told you about our deal with Fanatics and the NFL.com. So make sure you go on our website. We have a merch store and lots of stuff to look at and buy. And of course, you can buy your NFL merchandise through our website. And John's going to give you a bunch of, we're going to talk about our social media and all that good stuff in the next 7 minutes before the draft starts. And 2 minutes before Jeff's big thing. But what about the teams, guys, that don't have first round picks? Miami, the Raiders. There's a whole bunch of teams that don't have first round picks. Is this a bad year not to be in the first round?
It depends. Like a team like the Rams that has traded away so many first round picks in the last couple of years. We see how that worked out for them. And they have a Super Bowl championship sitting behind them, waiting to go into the second or third round, whenever it is that they pick. The Raiders, that I don't know. I can't remember the last time the Raiders made a good, solid pick in the first round. There once, what was the receiver's name that ended up getting into the accident, killed a girl and her dog?
Not Ruggs.
Yeah, Ruggs.
It was Ruggs.
Yes.
That might have been the best pick that they had in the last 3 or 4 years, and that's it. He's probably never going to play again. So, for certain teams, so be it. It was like not having a first-round pick anyway.
Yeah. No, I agree. John, what's your thoughts?
Right. Well, you look at their offseason moves, too. I mean, bringing Tyreek Hill into Miami. I mean, that's kind of like bringing a first-round pick in. I mean, you got one of the best receivers in the league. I mean, this guy's he's a jet on the field. He's he brings a whole new facet to that team. I mean, now you got 2 good receivers on both sides. You got an excellent tight end there. If Tua develops like they think he's going to develop, and they're putting a lot of eggs in that basket, but they're giving this guy the weapon, so now he needs to prove himself. So they made a lot of good offseason moves, and Jeff brought up the Rams deal. I mean, this team just won a Super Bowl. And I think this is going to be the way the NFL and a lot of teams look at it. That's going to be the prototype right there. Hey, the Rams did it. Now we know we could do it. So, we're in this game to win now. People want to see, a winner. You don't come into this league, looking to sit back and do nothing. I mean, it's the goal is to win the Super Bowl. And if you get that way, and do it that way, that's the way, I see a lot of teams are going to look at it.
And there's a lot of teams out there now that have no idea how to even spell Super Bowl, much less play for one. And until these teams realize and they follow some kind of plan, not for nothing, New York teams, let's just pick on them for a minute. Both New York teams have gone through a series of coaches, offensive coordinators. You're trying to develop players. Players are never going to develop if you're changing the offensive coordinator every year, every other year, which both teams have been guilty of at some time or point or another in the last 10 years. So it makes it rough that you draft these guys or you trade for these guys, and then you don't have any way to really guide them and to provide structure for them. And like more so right now at this point in time with the Giants, because they just got a new GM and a new coach, they don't have no loyalty to the players that are there. But they have to build with those players for right now until they can figure out what they're going to do. The Jets they're a little bit further along because this will be the second year for Salah, third or fourth year for Douglas. So, they're a little bit in a better shape, but some of these teams, man, I don't know. They're not ready. And I know this, that if you're not ready, it is, but the best way to find out what's going to happen is to start watching the Sunday Audible. This is the live coverage of the 2022 draft via live stream on the show's Facebook page and YouTube, I believe. Right, Tom?
Yes, sir.
And please check the show's website, www.sundayaudible.com, for more information and this and other upcoming episodes of the show. And we're going to walk you through this draft tonight and show you why certain teams are going to come out winner. That's right.
Yeah, and you know what's funny, great read, Jeff. What I find funny about this is it's all a crapshoot. It's all a crapshoot. You know what? It's flip a coin. You draft a guy, you think he's the number one, you think he's the guy, John. You think he's your future, and 3 years later you're dumping him and you're looking to draft another guy. But this is an exciting night. I mean, this is dreams are made tonight. Some guys' dreams are broken. Some guys, Geno Smith waited much longer than he expected to with the scowl, and Aaron Rodgers.
He's still waiting. Geno Smith is still waiting.
And then there's other guys whose dreams are made, and you don't know who's going to go and where they're going to be, John.
It's really crazy. I mean, you look at Tom Brady. I mean, as much as I don't want to bring him up on this show, but look where he was drafted. I mean, look at, Aaron Rodgers, like you said, that huge weight, and look where this guy's at. I mean, you don't know who's going to be the Hall of Fame caliber players here. It's really exciting, though, going into the season now and having these young guys in. There's a lot of anticipation here. It's kind of like it's Christmas for these teams. I mean, you're getting the gifts of the young talent coming in. There's a lot of excitement there and a lot for you two guys too, because, both of these teams are, we're hoping on the upswing. We see some good things happening, a lot of changes in the Giants organization. The Jets went through that last year, and, it has to be exciting for you guys and your fans. And I think that's a good thing for this league.
Oh, it's the season starts all over again. The slate's wiped clean, Jeff. Everybody's almost starting anew at the same time. You're getting fresh new faces. This is almost like this is almost the start of the new season right here.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is. I mean, a lot of teams went out and signed a lot of players in the off season and free agency, so they want to play with those toys as soon as possible. And here's one to get a toy that nobody else has ever touched before, which is always a good thing, and we know that. And when you have certain teams that they got to be excited. The league is switching. You're going to tell me that right now, a team that we really didn't talk about at all as of yet, the Cincinnati Bengals, they were so close last year to winning the Super Bowl. And now they have a chance, to get maybe a few players to push them over the edge, a player that they need. And is that going to be enough for them? Are the Rams, all right, we know that they don't have a number one pick, but did they do enough in the offseason to continue and to possibly win again? You got teams like the Jets and the Giants that are rebuilding. The Jaguars are a little bit behind both those teams, I feel. And then you got a team like the Cleveland Browns that are going for it with going after, what's his face, Watson, Deshaun Watson. Maybe they get the one player that they need in the draft tonight or over the weekend. And you just don't know. So, yeah, there's a lot of excitement coming up on the season. And I think that this is going to be one of the biggest seasons in a long time because you have so many different teams rotating and changing position. Do the Pittsburgh Steelers, John, do they Tommy, your camera?
Oh, sorry, guys.
All I see was this logo.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just trying to get the both. I got two screens working. I'm trying to see around my computer. Sorry about that.
No
No,
respect, everybody. This is it.
Yeah, this
No.
is
Seem like the Steelers, are they going to go for a total rebuild, or do they get what they need to continue? But yeah, John, I believe you're right. They should be coming up there with the first pick. Let's see what happens. And I'm excited, man. John, I think you should take it from here, no?
Yep.
We ready for the first pick here, guys?
Well, we're going to turn. Here's how it's going to work, guys. I believe any second now the commissioner will be coming out. He will put the Jacksonville Jaguars on the clock. At that point, John,
aren't they already? They're already on the clock. No, doesn't he just come out with their pick?
No, he should be coming out and saying he should be coming out to do the old welcome to the 2022 NFL Draft, and the Jacksonville Jaguars are now on the clock. So, nope, the 10 minutes has not started yet, to my knowledge.
10 minutes started a year ago, man.
Yeah. Well, right now, I mean,
they should get an extra 10 minutes. That's bullshit.
I think they can be right now. Listen, I think there's no clear cut. I think they're also possibly still listening for a thing. But just before we get to the Jaguars, and I'm going to turn it over to John, just where it starts. So John and Jeff will now alternate, starting right now with John handling the first pick. They will handle these announcements. I will be secondary in the background doing some board work and making sure I stay in the middle of all the pressing needs that we have. But from this moment on, the boys will run the draft, and we'll see where it goes. But till the commissioner's on the clock, guys, give me some quick thoughts. Give me some last minute things, John. Where do the Jaguars go? Right now, you're making your pick. You're at the table. Nobody's made your trade. Right now, John, what's your pick?
I'll go with Aiden Hutchinson. The reason I said is, like I said earlier, I mean, this guy, has all the tools. He, he's filling a need right there. They need to, to build strong on this defense. But Jeff did bring up another point too. I mean, you're going to need some help on the offensive side. I mean, you need some protection for the quarterback, obviously. But, is this going to be something where they go with an offensive lineman, with the number one pick? But I'm going with Aiden Hutchinson. I think he's the guy that's going to make a big difference there. I think he's a game changer. I think, you build a strong defense around somebody like that. The guy, I look at him as somebody that could get 12 sacks as a rookie, something like that. I see that potential right there. And don't forget, everybody, fanatics.com, NFLshop.com. When you see these guys walk up on stage and hoist that number one jersey, you're going to be able to get that merchandise right through our website, SundayAudible.com. Go into shop. Jeff's got it right there. We got everything through these guys. We're an affiliate for NFL Shop Fanatics right now, so we got to go to those guys, get the hats, get the jerseys, get the T-shirts. So everything that you're going to see on draft night, a lot of brand new players coming out, new jerseys, new T-shirts, new draft hats. For all these new guys. So SundayAudible.com. We got it on Twitter. We got it on YouTube. We got it on Instagram. I mean, look for a lot of new things that we have coming out, guys.
Awesome. Excellent, John. Good read. And guys, as we wait for the commission to come out and start the clock, we got a lot to get to tonight. We got a lot of chatter still here. So make sure you stick around for the Sunday Audible. Jeff Towinski, John Mahefker, myself, as we sit here and shoot a shit, as they say, and to break down this first round of the NFL draft. And I'm excited. I love tonight. This is one of my favorite nights of the year. I remember as a kid, there was no live coverage of the draft. It was done on a Sunday in New Jersey in some hotel conference room, and it's morphed into this. I guess, like I said in the open, kind of the circus meets the Oscars night, and it's another big moment in the year. Jeff, you got a little bit of butterflies. You're nervous. You're excited. What are you feeling right now?
I got to be honest with you, Tom. I'm excited about it. I'm not too nervous because I don't think I'm getting drafted tonight, so I don't think I have to worry about what team I'm going to. Although, if I was to get drafted, I would like to think that my hometown green would keep me.
That's true.
But I don't see that happening.
Hey, Jeff, if you were John's consigliere and you were sitting in the draft room right now and you were whispering in his ear while he's got his gear on and he was going to make the pick, where would you tell him? Who would you be telling him to pick right now?
To John?
Yep. He just said he was.
I would have to say, let's go offensive lineman. Let's go offensive lineman.
The commissioner's at the podium.
However you pronounce his name.
Hold on, with the commissioner at the podium.
Yeah, because he's got the number 1 pick, don't he?
Nope.
Is that Derek Carr?
I don't know. That's I see Marcus Allen.
That's Carr, isn't it?
I think so.
Okay. Welcome to the 22 NFL Draft.
Do they do this to him on purpose, or
yes? Well, they hate him, and they hate every year. Yeah, they hate him. He gets booed every year.
Every year he does. It's crazy.
Maybe they did it as a goof at this point in time.
So it is Derek Carr from the Raiders. It's Darren Waller from the Raiders, and it's Marcus Allen from the Raiders. Even though Al Davis hated his guts.
Pro bowlers Derek Carr and Darren Waller.
And Darren Waller's not getting traded either. I mean, they'd be crazy to trade that guy. Is it?
Not when they're bringing in Devontae Adams. They're going for a big one this year. No way.
I think so too. That team played very well last year, despite all the craziness that went on with Gruden and the the rug situation. I give that team a lot of kudos. I think Carr really showed himself as a leader last year too.
There's Ice Cube in the front row, sitting there with his rated garb on, with his bodyguard behind him.
Bodyguard looks a little old, no?
Oh. All right, so John, once the commissioner makes the announcement that the Jaguars are on the clock, and here goes Ice Cube, I'm sure in a pre-planned move, is headed upstate onto the stage. I don't know if he's.
Ice Cube.
Yeah.
Man, I just seriously hope there's nobody in that first couple rows with a gun going to try to shoot at him with the whole draft on hold.
All right, now this is like The Rock right before the Super Bowl, by the way.
Yeah, except The Rock wasn't distorting the fucking God knows how many watts PA system that this guy is right now.
Yeah,
and
that's it, and he's doing it clean too.
Yeah, I'll tell you something else too. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Ice-T was not born with those teeth. Those are definitely aftermarket teeth. Look at that shit.
Here comes Derek Carr. Like, we need this. Why can't the commission just come out there and go, okay, the Jacksonville Jaguars are on the clock? I mean, why are we delaying this even further? We're 8:09.
And why is Derek Carr trying to act like a rap star? He's the whitest man on that stage.
Yeah.
And I mean, why? Because they gave him a fresh new haircut? The fuck
I
out
think
of here.
that's it.
Here we go.
Here you go, homie. And they fist bumps him. Get the fuck. Come on, read the fucking card.
Here we go. The 2022 NFL Draft is now officially open.
There you go.
The Jacksonville Jaguars are now on the clock.
John, you're in charge. Go for it, John.
Jacksonville on the clock. I mean, what are we looking at here, everybody? I don't know if we got any responses here or anybody chattering in, but Jeff, we discussed this, last week. I mean, and we discussed it a few minutes ago. Where are these guys going? What's their key needs? We brought up the two key needs. Are they going to go Hutchinson? Are they going to go Trayvon Walker? Or is this going to be, where they go for an Evan Neal and get the offensive line help that they need?
You got yourself a quarterback last year. I know that he got beat up a little bit. He needs help. I just don't see the point of them going defensive player. I myself, if I was in that room, I would say we got to go offensive-minded, stay offensive-minded in the first round, get ourselves one of the people to help block and make his life easy and make him successful. I'm saying let's go left tackle and take one of the tackles first off the board. That's me.
Yeah, there's so many ways that this team could go. I mean, there's a lot of needs right there. But really, I mean, when you're looking to do, something a little different in Jacksonville, like every season you have to make a splash. You're this high up in the draft. You're you're always looking to better this team, and what guy is going to give us the most impact at Jacksonville. And I think I'm leaning toward Hutchinson, but there's so many possibilities here that we're looking at 3 guys right here, and they're all excellent possibilities.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff.
Go ahead, Tom. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I agree with both you guys. I think it's an offensive lineman. I'm sorry. I think it's a defensive lineman here. I think they're going to take the best player available, and I think the best player at that spot is one of the defensive linemen.
I agree, Tommy.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been talking, a lot about, where these guys are going. And there's a lot of people that are putting Trayvon Walker up to the top. I'm looking at Hutchinson, and then Jeff's looking at an offensive lineman. So, I mean, you see this throughout all the mocks too, and all the discussions on where these guys are going. So, I just think that they're going defensive line here. I think just one of those 2 guys is an impact player right out of the gate defensively. And I think it's going to be, they're looking at somebody that's going to be in that position. And you don't see too many great defensive tackles. And I think you got 2 guys here that are major impact players at the top of the board.
It's hot. That Namath jersey is so old, right? And it's material that I don't know who the fuck wore this shit. But this is why NFL players weighed 230 pounds as a center and a guard on the offensive line 50, 60 years ago. I'm sweating my ass off for wearing it for 10 minutes.
That's it. I mean, they made those jerseys heavy back then, the polyester and, some of the materials. And it's, that's definitely a weight loss shirt.
I'd have no problem using this as a trampoline.
We are under 7 minutes, but we're waiting for the Jags to put anything in. I'm curious why the hesitation? Jeff said it. You've had a year to make this pick. Unless you're holding out for a last minute call, I would think you came to the stadium tonight knowing who you're picking.
You would like to think so, but you know what, Tom? Ratings. Anything to make more money with ratings. Now here's a question that nobody's ever going to ask you. Okay, and look at them sitting there, like they already know the fucking pick. They're just waiting. If you're these guys, right, and that you're getting drafted tonight, is there any teams that, as a fresh new player, that you do not want to go to? Tommy, is there any team out there tonight that you do not want to go to?
Listen, you know what? You'd like to say it's the Lions, but I think the Lions are building a different culture. In the top 10, I think it's Seattle. To be honest with you, or maybe even Atlanta. I think Seattle's a team with an old coach, and needs to be torn down and brought back up. And I think the same thing for Atlanta. Those would be 2 teams I would not want to land on right now in the NFL draft.
John, how about you, man? Is there any team that you would not want to get drafted by?
I think Tommy nailed it right there, Seattle. I mean, where are these guys at right now? There's a lot of changes. I mean, you're looking really at, losing Russell Wilson, who was the face of this franchise for so many seasons, Super Bowl winner. Defensively, Wagner's gone. It's really, that's definitely one of the teams, the Falcons. And, really, where does a team like Minnesota fit into all this? I mean, you see, we think that these guys are going to do well, every season. And there's always like a point where we think, hey, this is going to be the time where
pick is in. Jacksonville Jaguars pick is in.
Let's go.
Jeff, as you know now, the pick is in, and now the Detroit Lions, Jeff, are on the clock.
So yes, they are. But right now,
yep.
This is big. They should be announcing this pick very shortly, and then we'll start talking about the Detroit Lions. But right now, this spotlight belongs to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who, by the way, I would never in an NFL career ever want to play for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, the town is not the greatest in the whole world to start with, Well,
just that uniform. That uniform. Fuck that uniform, man.
They need to go back to the old school one, guys.
That looks like a 1980s uniform. I'm waiting for Don Johnson to pull the hat off. And there he is.
Well, we're still waiting. They're going around. There's a ton of fans representing all the teams. You see the dog pound there. We see some Jet and Giant fans. We a lot of Patriot fans in the front row. I haven't seen any Steeler garb out there yet. That's usually nor do I ever seen any Cowboy, which is thankful. I'm not seeing the Cowboy garb out there. But the pick is in. But the commission.
I don't know what channel. What channel are you guys watching?
I got the NFL Network up right now.
All right, I'm watching Channel 7. So we're probably all getting different feeds here.
Which is good. We got different perspectives going on here. We got the Jacksonville faithful in the front. For some reason, it looks like they're holding up a picture of Phil Murphy, the governor of New Jersey. That's what the guy looked like. A big poster looked like Phil Murphy, but I see an old school name in jersey in the fan. There's a Steeler jersey number 7. I'm trying to guess who that would.
Fucking Bubby Brister.
Here he comes. The commissioner is going to the podium. John, get ready.
With the first pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Trayvon Walker.
Trayvon Walker, linebacker, Georgia.
Wow.
Well, that was definitely, one of the two guys we talked about, guys. I mean, Trayvon Walker, the guy that's
man, look how happy he fucking looks, man. Holy shit. He's like, really? You fucking kidding me? Out of 32 teams, I gotta go there? Yeah.
Well, that's I think that's a great pick for them guys. I mean, it's a guy that can, play anywhere on defense. He's going to be a game changer. This is an excellent pick. It's one of the two guys that we talked about, either him or Hutchinson. I think you could see, a lot of good things out of this guy. Look at some of the highlights right here. I mean, the strength, like I said, the versatility, sideline to sideline, the speed, able to run down backs out of the backfield, 30 yards downfield. The guy's got a ton of motor. It's something that Jacksonville, severely needs, to make some changes. I mean, excellent in pass coverage.
Ooh, the Lions, sorry, John, but the Detroit Lions pick is in.
Wow.
It's in.
We didn't even get a chance to talk about these guys. Wow.
Well, Jeff, you're going to be up if the pick is in. Get ready.
Yeah, this leads me to believe that the Detroit Lions are like making the first pick in the draft. As far as offensive linemen go, I bet you any amount of money they're going to go for a offensive lineman.
Yeah.
This is definitely not going the way that I thought it would go. I figured that they would have taken that guy Hutchinson, but
yeah, I think we're all a little surprised by it. I know right. I am. This is a guy whose name's been brought up, though, guys. For the last week, people have been talking about him moving up to the top of the draft, and I'm a little surprised by this move. I have to be honest with you. I know I was a little busy making some adjustments here, but I got to tell you guys, a little surprised by this pick.
He does 6'5", 272. I mean, he's got nice size to him. He's got good speed, but he doesn't have a big body of work in college.
No, definitely not, Jeff. Definitely not. I'm adjusting the draft board here to put our guy up on the spot where he needs to be. But Trayvon Walker has now slid up to number 1 in the NFL draft, and I'm making the adjustment here. And I'm going to highlight the reds that are done. And
this changes a lot too, guys. I mean, where does Detroit go? I mean, now there's multiple options right there. I mean, you got the guy that we thought was the best player in the draft in Hutchinson. I mean, is he a guy that you pass up? I mean, where do you go here? I'm thinking that's where they're going.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I think it's the number 2 pick. Jeff, take over. This is your spot. The pick is in. Go ahead, Jeff.
We're still waiting here. We'll see what's going on. Let me get some volume up. They're still talking about Walker, I believe, on my channel.
Yep.
Right.
I mean, I would imagine that Detroit is going to go defense, I would think.
I'm going to bet I'm with you. I think you're going to see Hutchinson. I think the commissioner's at the podium. Jeff, get ready for your pick.
Okay, here we go.
With the second pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Aiden Hutchinson.
Aiden Hutchinson.
Defensive end, Michigan.
Aiden Hutchinson going to Detroit, staying in his home state.
Yeah, I think that's a great pick there.
For him, yeah. I always liked the Lions, man. It would be nice to see the Lions one day have a little success, and maybe a young guy like this is going to help them out. It's good to see that they didn't jump at the chance to get a quarterback with that pick. And let's see what happens.
There's a lot of good. Go ahead, Tom.
No, go ahead, John. I'm busy. Go.
I would say there's a lot of good things that centers around this pick for Detroit too. I mean, you got a guy that's a game changer. You got a guy that the hometown fans can relate to right there because he's already right there playing. He's going to be an excellent fit. He's going to bring that that motor and that physicality that Dan Campbell is building in that organization right now. And that's why I think that this kid is going to be a fantastic player for a lot of years to come up in Detroit.
But not for nothing, they just said that he played football in high school in Michigan. So evidently he was born and raised there. So it's almost like a dream come true, I would think, to say, play high school, college, and now pro football in your home state. That's got to be a great feeling.
100%. And I think, listen, guys, it says something to the draft. While the first pick started a little late, the 2 picks came in quick. I think we're seeing basically, teams are not going to jump up this high in the draft. The Lions did not wait long, which means people are not calling to move up in this draft. There's just, I don't believe that you're going to see a lot of movement early in this draft. And I think this is an indication.
Not yet, Tom. Not yet. I think as you're going to get a little further down the pick, you may see that happening. But
yeah,
I don't think that there was a player worthy.
Well, I think we're seeing that. Guys. We're the Houston Texans are on the board, John. It's your pick. It's your call. I think for myself here, I'm looking at them grabbing probably the first offensive lineman to go is right here.
Yeah,
I can see. I think you're right too, Tommy. I can see Neal going here. This team, there's a lot of needs here too. With Mills a quarterback. Mills did, some decent things. I think he did a lot more than we expected there. To tell you the truth, but they, apparently they have, he has their blessing. He has their backing. So, this is going to be an interesting one too.
Texans pick is in.
Wow, this is going quick, guys. I got to be honest.
They may throw an extra round at us tonight at the rate they're going.
Yeah, we never see it this quick.
No way.
I think it's telling you that teams came into this thing pretty much set on what they were going to do, and I think we're seeing that right now. So, guys, I'm thinking it's Ekwonu. I'm thinking Ekwonu's going to go here immediately. I'm a little surprised by the first 2 picks only because of Walker, but. Go ahead, guys. John, this is your boat. Go and run it.
Dude, you had to know that Hutchinson was going to be very near the top, if not the first pick. So, I mean, listen, right now, Trayvon Walker, his stock soared in the last week or so. Hutchinson was up near the top. So it's no surprise that he got picked. But, yeah, you're right. Now I think you're going to see a run of offensive linemen. The Jets pick, this is big. This is big.
This is going to affect what they do. I agree. And Tommy, I agree. I think Ekwonu or even Neal moving up, to the Texans. I mean, I know a lot of the mocks have Ekwonu right there at 3, but it's really where do these guys want to go with these 2 guys?
Yeah, I think when you get to these 3 guys, what's his name? Cross played in a air raid siren. He didn't do a lot of run blocking. So you're going to be a little suspect of there. So I think he becomes number 3. People are enamored with Ekwonu and his size, a good pass blocker. And I think that while Neal's a little bit short of a pass blocker than he is, Neal could also eventually play guard if you wanted to, and he can certainly play right tackle. So I think if I'm the Texans, I think I would rather have Neal, and I agree with you, John, but I think they're going to go with Ekwonu. I think everybody has him high up there. And I would be shocked if they didn't try to fortify that offense and give Davis Mills a little help back there. So we're still waiting on the pick. I've not seen the time. Jeff, you see the time on the board for the pick?
No, it just says Texans pick is in.
Oh, wait, so the Texas pick is in. That's why I'm sorry, I didn't see that. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I thought you knew that.
No, I did not. So the Texas pick is in, guys. We're Johnny Boy. What are you? Again, we're looking at we have the Sunday Audible 2022 NFL Draft coverage. John Marhefka, Tom Flory, and Jeff Towinski. The commissioner's not making his way to the podium. John, I'll feed you the. Let's Jeff. If you got volume up on that, you can put the volume up.
Yeah, I got the volume up.
There you go.
With the third pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select
Wow.
Derek Stingley Jr.
Wow. That is a shock. There's your first shock of the night, boys.
That's a shock right there. I mean, everybody thought we just discussed it going with offensive linemen, but now, you get one of the best corners in this draft right now. And I think this guy, he's definitely a game changer. There's no doubt about that. Big surprise.
Yeah, let me get my board out on Derek Stingley here. Again, way up on the board than I would have expected. Derek Stingley Jr., LSU, 6'3", 190, 4'1". While great hips, moves. Before he got hurt, the problem is his rookie year, he chased Jamar Chase all over the field and a good tackler. But the last 2 years between being hurt and just not playing well, his draft stock, I thought, dropped, Jeff. So
yeah, wasn't he was the one that they were really high on, and then he only had one good year in college.
And that was 3 years ago. Yeah. And that was 3 years ago, yeah.
Well, this is why under 6 minutes for the New York Jets franchise-changing pick, which will be happening very soon. Just want to get that ready.
Getting that ready?
With Stingley, guys, this guy's he's the prototypical, DB. Good hands. Good coverage skills. Like you said, he chased Chase all over the field.
Yeah,
it's something. You don't see too many shutdown corners in this league. Not ones that are consistent.
No, you don't. But something, you would think that you would want to get one a little bit better. That you passed up Sauce Gardner.
Right. Maybe this was something that was, when they met with Sauce or met with Stingley, maybe it was just something that was that the Texans liked. They liked what this guy had to say. He kind of fit with, their coaching philosophy is. It might have just been an easier fit here.
I don't know if
I agree, Jeff.
Reading what Matt Salitri is writing, the Houston Texans are stupid, good for the Jets. I agree, Matt. And he's reiterating what we said about he had the one good year as a freshman, and here he is, the third pick in the draft. So I don't know, man.
I'm a little surprised by this. I got to be honest with you, but Jeff, come on, your team's up on the clock. What are you thinking? It's your show,
dude. I'm nervous. I got butterflies. I don't know what to think. Man, there's so many different ways to go. Do they go offensive lineman? Do they take a defensive end? Personally, I hope they go after Sauce Gardner. That's who I'm hoping that they get. I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
The Jets under 5 minutes, 4 minutes and change.
The Jets will take all 10 minutes. You guarantee that.
Well, I think at this point they're probably listening to somebody out there. Jeff, all the offensive linemen are available. Most people think the best corners.
I had to do my share, guys.
John makes his move.
Represent Jeff. Old school, man.
Nice.
Well, let's look at the board at this point, guys. So all the offensive linemen are still there. What people consider was the best corner in the draft is still there, right? You got Jermaine Johnson and Kayvon Thibodeau still there. The Jets, the world is their oyster, Jeff, as they say.
Yeah, well, you know what happens when you eat shellfish? Sometimes you get sick.
Well,
and I can see the Jets getting the fucking good case of the runs tonight. So
right now
they make the right pick.
Let's see where it goes. But right now we got Trayvon Walker at number 1 to the Jaguars. The Detroit Lions take the hometown boy Aiden Hutchinson at the number 2 pick, and with a bit of a surprise move right here, Derek Stingley Jr. at number 3 to the Houston Texans.
And nobody failed to realize that Stingley's uncle was the one that was left paralyzed by
Yes,
Tatum.
Darryl Stingley. Yes, that is correct.
And Jets pick is in. Of course, during the commercial.
And
Joe,
Jeff, we're hoping it's not Kyle Brady this time, man.
Yeah, we'll see. We're hoping a lot of things. Here's hoping they don't slip and say fucking Pickett. Of course, there'll be like 17 commercials and stuff. I'm hoping.
Okay, I need all the time I can get to do my draft board. You see, the board is updated at the bottom. It's like being in the NFL Network, guys.
It's live. I mean, I think we might have better. We might have better video though, Tommy.
I'm trying, guys. I'm trying.
I don't know. Right now, I'm watching a pretty cool Chevy commercial of a new truck. It looks pretty good.
So, I mean, let's talk about it tonight. So, I'm thinking here the Jets are not going defensive back. I think they're going defensive line. This is huge for the New York Giants because the world is their oyster at that point. I think the Jets are going defensive line. If you ask me right now, the Jets pick is in. They're getting ready. Jeff, come on, give me your thoughts. Give me your pick.
Dude, I don't know. I'm watching a commercial about fucking
I'm on
some kind of anti-diarrhea medicine. Not what I really need to see right now.
Well, you should be changing over to where I am because they just showed the Jets War Room. John, what are you thinking right here?
Well, there's a lot of things that they need here too, Tommy. But Sauce Gardner's still on the board, and that's who one of the guys was that we predicted. That they were looking at. But they need a receiver as well. I mean, this is really tough now because we didn't expect Stingley to go that high.
Yeah, that was a little. Yeah.
So it changed some things.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, I'm almost agreeing with Matt that Kayvon Thibodeau goes right here. I think this is upside down. I think it's Thibodeau. I'll be shocked if it's Gardner. I do not think it's an offensive lineman. The pick is in. We're waiting. Lots of Jet fans in the audience right now.
You gave up a touchdown. He said, "I don't remember."
Jets needs edge rush, a defensive back, linebacker, safety. Probably need a quarterback, a new head coach, and probably will need a general manager by the end of the season. Those are my.
Hold on. I think it's happening, Tom. Hold on.
Go ahead, Jeff. It's all yours.
And the commissioner tripped and fell and dropped the audience.
I did not see the commissioner.
Okay, here we go.
Yet. Oh, there he is. Coming out. Here it comes, Jeff. It's all yours.
In the 2022 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Sauce Gardner.
Yes! Yes! Oh! Yes! Oh, my God. They didn't fuck it up. Oh, my God. They didn't fuck it up. Oh.
I can say I got my first one right on my mock draft board. I saw Sauce Gardner. So good pick by the New York Jets.
I agree. I agree. That's really filling the need for these guys too. You remember, there was a couple games, over the last couple of years where they lost and gave up a ton of yards passing. I remember the Raider game. So
he's walking with a limp. I think they're going to announce he has one leg shorter than the other or something. He's blind in one eye. Something's up. Wait, he don't even know where he's going. He's fucked. He's fucked. Yeah, you went the wrong way.
Well, I gotta tell you, I'm mad. I know you're saying you're sorry, but I'm excited. I would love to have had Gardner. For the Giants right now, I'm looking at one of the offensive linemen and then probably Jermaine Johnson at number 7.
You're still getting a great pick, Tom.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm good right here. You're right now. I'm gonna predict the Giants are on the clock. Let me start with this. Ahmad Gardner is a great pick. I think this guy is exactly what this team needed. And Jeff, you said it. They did not screw this one up.
Another change, Tommy.
On their way home.
Oh, man. Wow, that's fucking great. What a great feeling, man. For change.
Again, this is a good pick. The Giants are on the clock. Jeff, I think your general manager did a nice job with this first pick. It's exactly what the team needed. And what I like about it, Jeff, is he didn't go with the probably which would have been the pressure to take a defensive lineman there instead.
Tom, I'm hoping. I'm not a Giant fan.
I'm ready now.
Oh, look at this. Fucking share. That's it. Share. I ain't never calling it John again.
Hey, guys, 6'2", 6'2 3/4, weight 190, played at Cincinnati. Good stick. Guy can tackle. Mm-hmm. This guy is Jeff, you said it before, an Antonio Cromartie type. This guy will play press coverage on you. and keep you away from the ball. This is the start of maybe another Revis Island.
God, I hope so, Tom. I hope so.
Guys, this draft is flying. It's 8:35. We've got 4 picks. We're on 5 right now. This draft is
unbelievable.
flying.
Man, look at this kid go. Wow. Look, Jet fans there are going completely fucking batshit right now.
Because they finally got one right. It's not too often the Jets get something right.
Yeah.
A lot of toughness there, a lot of speed. I mean, this guy's going to bring a lot to this team. That's an exciting pick.
Oh, God, yeah. I don't understand. They don't have the Giants up yet. I want to hear what he says.
Anxiously awaiting this one. All right, you are the newest member of the New York Jets. How does that sound to you?
Man, this sounds great, man. You know, that was the plan all along. I just wasn't saying too much, man. I'm extremely blessed. Shout out to Rich. You know, I'm gonna make sure I go to the Jets, you know, make sure I bust my tail to be the best teammate, you know, stay frosty.
They're gonna need you. They want to start winning. All right, tell us, we talked a little bit about this. Tell us this one's new.
I mean, the Jets fans know, man. They know about the sauce, man. You can't have too much sauce. You know, so
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
I love it.
So what's
I fucking love it.
Extra sauce. You know,
Extra sauce. I love it.
That's the extra sauce.
I'm predicting this is the very first draft bust from this year. Anybody comes out with a bottle of sauce on his gold chains, he's a draft bust.
Well, that good thing they're not gold. It's like silver.
Whatever.
Probably
Draft
platinum
bust.
chains.
Yeah, but he's Sunday sauce, Tommy.
Yeah, he better be.
So I think
You better hope he's not burnt sauce.
yeah, that's it.
Listen, Matt's even predicting that you get a fucking
Yeah,
what do you call it?
that's a wise ass.
I think that's a great pick, Jeff. I mean, I think it's it's showing the organization, and the fan base that it's that they're changing the culture there. I mean, you're bringing in a guy that's a game changer. Pick us in, Tommy.
Is flying by the New York Giants with new head coach Brian Dable at the helm, and Joe Shane have their pick is in number 5. Guys, I'll tell you flat out, I think it's an offensive lineman, no doubt in my mind. It's Evan Neal will be a New York Giant on this pick.
Dude, I
agree, Tommy. I think that's a great pick.
They took the guy Thibodeau.
I do not see that happening here, Jeff. But listen, nothing will surprise me. We'll see how it plays out in the next few minutes. I think the Giants will be giving Daniel Jones the bookend he needs at this point.
Yeah, you listen. That's what you're hoping for.
Yep.
It helps Barkley. It helps the running game. Helps the passing game. It'll set up even if Jones is not here next year. It sets up for the next guy.
Mm-hmm.
That is not a confident war room. I'll tell you that much.
I'll tell you this right now: the Giants right now with this pick are a better team than they were last year. Now that's easy to say because they were bad last year, but with the Golanowski pickup, with Feliciano pickup, with this pick and your bookend, and I'll be honest with you with what's his name? Tyrod Taylor, the Giants are a better team right now. Are they winning 10 games? No. But this Giant is a better team. I'm excited for this pick of Evan Neal. It's going to be bookend offensive lineman from Alabama.
Something's going on.
What's the matter?
I don't know.
Can't be a trade.
Here comes the commissioner, I think. The commissioner's coming
This is
out
big,
with
Tom.
something.
Good luck, bro.
Uh-oh.
For the New York Giants.
Who's that special kid in the background?
Joined by Sam Prince, a lifelong Giants fan and Make-A-Wish kid.
Oh boy, I just made fun of a Make-A-Wish kid.
You're going to hell. You're going to hell tonight.
Oh yeah.
Before that, you're going now. Come on, Sam. Give me the announcement already. What is it, Jeff?
What did this kid get hit by a car or something? What's the matter with this guy?
Post-heart transplant
Come on.
and feeling stronger than ever, as you can see.
Announce the pick. Come on.
Tonight, this wish to announce the Giants' first pick comes true. We hope this wish will be a turning point for Sam as he looks forward to being a
Evan Neal, offensive tackle, Alabama. Here it comes.
Okay, Sam.
Here it goes, guys.
Your wish true, baby.
Thank you, Mr. Goodell. With the 5th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the New York Football Giants select Kayvon Thibodeau.
Wow.
Oh
That
my
is
God.
shocking.
Oh my God.
Wow. I'm a little surprised. I'm not a little surprised. I am extremely shocked by this. Wow.
Oh my God.
Wow. That is
I'm
opening
definitely
the door.
surprised by that one.
Well, here's the thing, guys. I'll tell you why I'm not surprised at this, because they're going to get one of the three that they wanted in the seventh pick. So
Yeah, but Tom, I'm sorry, this is a risky pick. Not a terrible pick, but I think risky.
I'm not going to argue that. I think he's got the biggest upside in the draft at that position. There was a lot of questions that this guy was, for the longest time, people thought he was the number one pick in the draft. But you know what? I have to defer to the guys. I'm still going to get the offensive lineman I wanted, and I think they changed their mind when Gardner wasn't there. So I don't know what you guys think, but I'll take it.
I'll tell you what I think right now. You want to know something? I think the guy is coming out calm, cool, and collected. He's not overhyping himself as he's coming out. He's I would have expected a little bit more fanfare from him. I kind of like the way he's handling himself right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Coming out on the big stage. So he's minimal celebrations, but he's very happy. And I don't blame him. He should be happy. And listen, I'm sure you got a good player. It's just hopefully he does the right thing for the New York Giants. That's all.
And they had to see something in his kid too. I mean, we discussed the the outside issues and some of that, the character issues, but and the Giants are normally a team that they're kind of big on that. They kind of tend to pull away from guys with those type of issues, but I guess they saw something in his kid. I mean, you're definitely looking at a great player here, though. I mean, it's filling a need, and if he was one of the top guys on their board, that's the guy you got to go get.
I think it was definitely a guy on the top of their board. I think it was a question. I'm just a little surprised, but
he's a little small though for a defensive end.
Jeff, let's see his stat numbers. Let me see. I can give that to you right now. Kayvon Thibodeau is 6'4", 254, runs the 40 and 4.58. Listen, he's a one-trick pony in college, but the guy is got all the skills in the world. I think he'll beef up in the pros a little bit. It's just a matter of can he play can he adjust his game to the pro level. It's a tough one. I don't hate it. I
just weren't expecting it.
I certainly was expecting it there. I was expecting the offensive lineman, and I didn't get it, but that's okay. I'm going to get it in 2 picks right now. The Panthers are on the clock, guys. Where are the Panthers going?
I think if I was the Panthers, I would definitely at this point in time take a fucking offensive lineman. Please, somebody take an offensive lineman.
I mean, listen, if there's a chance that you can go quarterback here, John, but I think Jeff's right. I think it's going to be one of the offensive linemen.
Yeah, and you look at what their needs are too. I mean, it's definitely offensive line, and like Jeff said earlier, they came out, roll with back in, Sam Darnold. Are they going to show him that, hey, look, we're going to protect you a little bit more? I mean, because he was under duress the entire season last year. I mean, basically anybody that was there,
Listen, they need any time that they could put a good piece on that team. I mean, they have a quarterback. They're paying him a lot of money. You might as well see what you could get out of him because you're not going to get anything out of a trade. So he's there for the year. You're paying him. You might as well get yourself an offensive lineman, a road grader, somebody that's going to fucking give him some time. See what you got on the rest of the team. They just showed McCaffrey got hurt last year. A little protection for him. I don't know. I don't think they're going to go quarterback. That's all I could say.
Guys, you're watching the 2022 NFL Draft coverage live on the Sunday Audible networks. Thank you for joining Jeff, John, and myself, and we hope you hang around. It's been a quick draft so far. 8:45. We are at pick number 6. 2 minutes on the clock for the Panthers.
Pick is in, bro. Pick is in.
Pick is in. There it is. Jeff's got it. So Jeff will be handling pick number 6. I'm going right here. I'm going offensive lineman. I'm saying it's Ekwonu to the Panthers right now. That's my pick, guys.
Yeah, I think I could go along with that, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, we had Aquanu in a lot of the drafts going to the Texans at number 3. I mean, up in the top 3 definitely. So him dropping to 6, and it's a need that Carolina has, and we'll see. I think it's a good pick for them. I think it's either going to be Aquanu or Neal. We've seen a couple of surprises already, guys. So let's
Matt's with us here. Matt's thinking it's Malik Willis. I would not be shocked by a quarterback pick here because I think they are going to have a big problem with quarterback this year. With Jeff, we talked about it with Sam Darnold and Ward as their 2 quarterbacks. I just think it's too high up. I would be shocked. I would be surprised if they made that move, but it would not totally throw me off the edge.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't know. I can't see the point of forcing a quarterback.
I agree.
If the guy's not there for this year, not what I mean, not there for this year, that he's not worthy of a top 10 pick, maybe even a top 15 pick. And there he is, Share.
All right, guys, we're ready.
Guys, quick, big surprise. Anybody give me some thoughts real quick on the first few picks?
I'm a little mildly surprised at the way things are going so far, and very happy for my team. I don't know about you guys. I love the pick. I cannot wait for September. And listen, I hope my guy is made of stone.
John, with no pick in the second and third round, like Matt brought up, the Panthers here have to make a big pick, and that's why I don't think it's quarterback. That's why I think it's got to be an offensive lineman here.
Yeah, I think you're looking at the 2 top guys at offensive line too, right here. I mean, is it somebody that you're going to pass up? I can't see that happening either.
If you take quarterback now, you ain't going to be able to help him.
Yeah.
Onto the 4th round with anything, unless they make a trade. But how many more trades are they going to make and wreck their future to get something now?
Exactly.
I got Panther needs as offensive tackle, quarterback, and safety. I'm putting in again. I'm going for one of the linemen. I'm going to say that they're going to take Aquanu right here as their big upside. I'd be shocked if it's a quarterback, but I think the pick is in. They're under. I think the time has elapsed, so either they're making their pick or they're losing it. One or the other.
The pick was in before they went to commercial.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not really doing such a good job with the commercials.
Yeah, they are overlapping. Yes.
Yeah.
We will get ready for that pick. And again, check out please check out SundayAudible.com. If you're looking to buy any of the apparel you're seeing on TV tonight, you can buy it through our website. That's through Fanatics. And, of course, check our merch store out. Mugs, sweatshirts, hats, and T-shirts, amongst other things. So stop by SundayAudible.com. Is that
Tom, real quick, what happens with the Giants up next?
Offensive line. There is no doubt in my mind the Giants will be drafting an offensive line with the next pick. So it just comes down to this: who do the Panthers take?
There we go.
Okay, I think that's Robert Griffin, if I'm not mistaken, wearing very ugly socks.
You ready?
We're waiting, man. It gets me excited. My Giants will be on the clock, and I'll be ready to.
Here's the pick. Aquanu.
That's exactly where I thought they would go.
Right.
I think it's a smart pick. It might not be the ideal pick, but this does not hurt them. And Giants will be drafting Evan Neal, Alabama offensive tackle, bookends for the New York Giants coming up. Guys, thoughts on the pick?
Dude, I'll tell you what's on the pick. This kid's father is telling him, come on, let's go. Let's get back on the boat, go back to Africa. You do not want to go play in fucking the Carolina Panthers. You don't want to do it. Let's go back home.
Start all over again?
Yeah.
Especially if, if he knows anything about Sam Darnold.
Come out next year. Fuck this. Your quarterback is Sam Darnold. You don't want to do this, kid. Come on, let's go.
You know what? I think it's a good pick, though. I mean, this guy's really versatile. And they got, some of the strengths on here. Excellent locker room guy with quality building personality. And I think that's one thing that Carolina does need to do here. They need to build a culture in this organization again. I mean, you had that, the thing going on with Cam Newton, and what he did. And then, the fallout, McCaffrey had that injury, and that's their key player. So you're kind of like with Matt Rule, building that culture back up again. And I think you need a guy to strengthen that offensive line, strengthen that locker room, and be a foundation for this team for years to come. And I think this is a good pick here.
Yeah.
Listen, as far as that, he's definitely a good pick. I mean, he has to be. He's up there. He was one of the higher rated offensive linemen. We know that. The guy he's an incredible athlete. He moves well.
Yeah. I listen, here's how it goes. The Giants are on the clock, 4 minutes and change. Right now, the Giants are taking Evan Neal. After that, you got Atlanta. I think Atlanta's going wide receiver there, Matt. Sorry. And I think the first quarterback is going to be Seattle, Malik Willis. I think if no quarterback goes there, it's going to be a while before a quarterback comes off the table. And, John, it's starting to look like to me that Kenny Pickett may wind up falling way far down in this draft for your Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, it's looking like that, Tommy. I mean, you're seeing a lot of things here. A couple of things we didn't expect. We didn't expect Stingley to go, that high. But, I really don't even know if
let me ask you something.
Coming up yet?
How much further down do you see Pickett falling before Pittsburgh maybe comes calling?
Well, I got to tell you, I mean, the next quarterback needing team, maybe could the Texans take him at 13? The Saints at 16? There's a couple teams in there. The Jets will take a receiver. I think it's going to be Jameson Williams.
Right.
That's what I would say, Matt, if you're asking me. But let's stick with the Giants and then the Falcons after that, guys. Give me your picks for the Giants right here.
I think they're going to go offensive lineman, Tom.
I agree, Jeff. I think Evan Neal's our guy here for the Giants.
I would agree with that. I think the Giants will be taking.
Pick is in. Giants pick is in.
Okay, we're going to find out in 2 seconds who that pick is. I'm going to tell you it's Evan Neal. I'd be shocked if it was Charles Cross. Cross is a good player, but Neal is.
Heard a lot of good things about Cross too, though.
Absolutely, the guy who definitely jumped up in this draft. But I think Evan Neal is the easy pick here for the New York Giants. So we'll see. But again, the draft is not really shaping the way I thought it would. I got to tell you, I'm a little surprised on some of the moves.
Right.
No real. I mean, Stingley's probably the one move, guys, I would say that was shocking to me.
Tom, I got to ask, before they make this pick, I want you to think about this, because you got to wait and see, of course. But does this next pick and this so far, this draft, how much, what do you expect out of the Giants?
Well, like I said, if this pick is an offensive lineman, I'm enthused about what the offense is going to look like. Thibodeau's got a lot of upside. Matt called it. I said it before. He got to gain a little weight, work on his hands, work on his hand placement and all that. But these are good pick. These are good picks for the Giants. I don't think anybody thought that Thibodeau would be sitting here for them. Again, not crazy about the move at first, but I could definitely live with it as long as this pick is an offensive lineman.
Yeah, you want to solidify both sides of the ball right there in the trenches, and I think that's what they're looking to do here. I think it's a smart move.
Yep, you still have so Jermaine Johnson. I would tell you Jermaine Johnson and Evan Neal are the two big names still on the board at this point, with Malik Willis and all the receivers, guys. Garrett Wilson, London, Jameson Williams, they're all on the board. There's still a lot of big names out there, but I feel quarterback coming in 2 picks. I think the next pick is going to be Jermaine Johnson. The Giants pick is in, Jeff.
My TV froze.
The Giants just made a pick. They took Evan Neal, offensive tackle, Alabama, as Tom expected.
That's a great pick too, Tommy.
That's big, man. That's big.
We talked about this guy too. I mean, he has all the essentials and really the professionalism, to fit this organization. So many strengths, coming from a solid background, said all the right things, in the interviews that I saw. I really think he's an excellent pick. This guy's going to be an outstanding offensive lineman for this team for a lot of years.
Yeah, so far, I will tell you guys, this is a good draft for the New York Football Giants. They've accomplished everything I thought they needed to accomplish.
I'm just not sold on Thibodeau. I hope he's a good pick, man.
Yeah, and Matt's right. The Giants took Evan Neal, and he was he's the biggest thought process because he can play guard, but the bigger thing is he can play right tackle. It's not an easy thing to do. Kwanu was a left tackle. This guy could play right tackle, which leaves Andrew Thomas in his natural spot at left tackle, and the Giants have bookend Alabama offensive linemen.
And physical guys too. I mean, this guy's a specimen here.
That's so important. They got one last year, one this year. So you're talking, you have an offensive if it works, 2 offensive linemen for the next 10 to 12 years easily.
Sure.
As long as nobody gets hurt and they play and they're solid citizens, you can have 2 bookends for years.
Yeah.
One more change, guys.
Up next, Jeff, on the clock is the Atlanta Falcons with 5 minutes and change left on the clock here.
Is the first quarterback go here?
This is the first spot for it. I say no. I say it's going to be a receiver. They lost Ridley. They just signed Mariota. I think they're going to give him some weapons. I'm going receiver here. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be the kid out of Ohio State. And nice John.
Chair's back.
The Dirty Birds, guys.
There you go. So I think this. I think right now, if you're asking me, this pick will be a receiver and probably. I'm going to tell you right now, Garrett Wilson. I believe Garrett Wilson goes in this pick right now.
Well, just about 5 minutes, a little much touch over 5 minutes. Is it, Tom, time for a read or what, man?
Yeah, Jeff, go ahead, do your read.
Roll it up.
All right, man. You're watching the Sunday Audible live coverage of the 2022 NFL Draft via live stream on the show's Facebook page and YouTube page. Please check the show's website, www.sundayaudible.com, for more information on this and other upcoming episodes of the show. Like Tommy said earlier, you could buy some stuff. Remember, the more stuff you buy, the more money we make and the less work we have to do with our real jobs. So help us realize the dream of not working.
Which on that one. Again, the Sunday Audible, that's John Maher in the Dirty Bird stuff. And that's Jeff Towinski, the big smile and a nice beard, waiting on his fragrance coming from the boys at Hemp Wizard. So we're looking forward to that. But the Sunday Audible is here. We're live covering the draft. The Giants just took Evan Neal, offensive tackle from Alabama. It's been an interesting draft so far, guys.
4 minutes left for the.
Here's my first observation. These picks are going quick.
The first couple, but then you get a team like the Atlanta Falcons that are laid back and taking all 10 minutes.
The Falcons pick is in with time to spare on the clock. Again, I'm going receiver.
I'm saying Jameson Williams.
No,
it's kind of. Let's see, but I say receiver too, Tommy.
Just take note. No trades as of yet.
Good point, Jeff. Good, very good point. Yeah, you're right. I'm a little surprised nobody's jumped in here. I'd say if we don't see a quarterback taken in the next 2 picks, I would be surprised if we see one till probably the Saints at 16. Yeah, I say this
unless somebody else moves up.
Well, yeah, you can never be so sure, of that. This one, I don't need this anymore. Jeff, what are you thinking? Are you thinking receiver here, Jeff?
I think it's got to be a receiver without a doubt. It has to be.
The slide could be because they are looking for some help on the edge. Jermaine Johnson's still hanging in there from Florida State, so I will not be surprised if they go D lineman right here. But I still think it's Garrett Wilson from Ohio State.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's going to be an interesting draft.
Pick is in.
Yep, we are waiting for the commissioner. Here he comes, Jeff. It's all you.
All right, let's go, man. Here he comes.
With the 8th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Drake London
from USC.
Wow, very interesting pick here. Not the big name the other 2 guys were, but a guy thought very highly in this draft. Drake London, guys.
No, I got to run upstairs real quick. I'll be right back, guys.
I think it's a good pick. I mean, we look at the Calvin Ridley situation.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons that they were going here. I mean, this was something that, you thought you had your long-term receiver. I mean, you had Julio Jones for all those years. He he fell off, went to Tennessee,
Mhm.
and Calvin Ridley was the guy. I mean, he was the main guy for Matt Ryan, for the last couple of seasons. You started to see that fade in. They brought Kyle Pitts in last year. It was a definite game changer at tight end. And Marcus Mariota coming in here. Now he has, another weapon for this offense. I think it's a good pick with Drake London.
A bit surprising though, John.
I
Not
was
the
surprised.
explosive guy. Yeah, not the explosive guy. And he's had some questions about his, catching the ball over the middle. They lost Julio Jones. They lost Calvin Ridley over the last few years. This is a team that need somebody to work with Pitts. I'm not questioning it. I would have thought they would have went Wilson or to the end of maybe grabbing Williams, but an interesting pick.
So now, Tommy, I mean, look at some of the things that we saw here. I mean, we saw, some of the receivers that, that we had in our top 10. I had London, I believe, number 9 in my mock, and number 9 in a lot of these, at least like lower in the bottom of the top 10. But now you have 2 guys sitting there that are 2 of the higher end receivers. You still have Charles Cross, offensive tackle. I mean, where's the Seahawks? The Jets. The Seahawks right now. Where are they going? I mean, there's some good potential here, and I think I could see the Jets going receiver here as well.
Yeah, I think the Seahawks have some big needs. Edge, where I could see Jermaine Johnson going. They do need the offensive line. They do need some help at offensive line, so they could go across. I think if there's a spot for a quarterback, it's right here because they do not have a quarterback. So I will tell you, I'm thinking it's a quarterback here. I've said from the beginning, I think that it's a stretch to take any of these guys this early in the draft. But I believe it's going to be Malik Willis. We'll go here. Will I be shocked if it's Cross or Jermaine Johnson? No, but my pick is going to be it would be that, John.
I could see that too, and I look at where the Steelers are going to go. What if Willis goes here? He was one of the guys that that we thought was going to be, definitely had a ton of potential, to come here in Pittsburgh. So what does Pittsburgh do sitting at 20? I mean, they have the Saints above them. They have a couple teams that may be looking quarterback, and if Willis was their guy and he's off the board, is it going to be a situation where they decided to trade up for Pickett, maybe with Minnesota?
Yeah,
or
I think the problem for the Steelers is because I think the Houston could take a quarterback. I don't think they will, but they could. And then the Saints have 2 picks ahead of the Steelers. So I think that's the hard part for the Steelers is can they take the chance? So they may have to think about jumping up into Philly spot or maybe even Baltimore spot and grabbing one of the quarterbacks if that's where they're headed. I believe they are trying to get a quarterback in this first round.
I think so too, Tommy, and I think it's gonna be predicated on what Seattle does here. I think and what they do, and if they could sit a little further and not have to trade up, that's ideal. But it just you never know in these drafts. I think they plan on doing this. I think a quarterback's their guy. I mean, that's just what I thought for a long time.
Yeah, Matt's talking about Ritter from Cincinnati. I think that's a real stretch. I
agree.
think he had a good year and all that, but that just to me is a real stretch at that point. If you're the Steelers, I don't think you can go out on a limb like that.
Yeah, but you know what? The Steelers have Trubisky.
Yeah.
You don't need somebody to jump in there and come in this year.
Right.
You can at least sit a year behind Trubisky.
Yeah,
but what do you do if Trubisky gets hurt? Say, and you're looking at Dwayne Haskins, and that tragic incident right there. So you have Mason Rudolph sitting behind Trubisky. Obviously they don't have the faith in Mason that that we'd expect. That's why I see.
He was the backup for Big Ben for how long?
I think that 3 minutes or 20 seconds.
It's really tough to see them. Sitting back, and like Tommy and I were just discussing, I think it depends on what Seattle does here because I think that's a potential spot for a quarterback, Tommy, big potential.
Yeah, again, here's the big spot for quarterback. Then Jeff, then your beloved Jets are up in a great spot. They got 2 of the best receivers in the draft sitting here. You still have one. You still have a great edge rusher sitting here.
Mm-hmm.
One of the Cross is still sitting there. The Jets are in a good spot. I'm thinking at that point they're taking the receiver. I think it's Williams. He's been linked to the Jets for the last few weeks. What's your thoughts, Jeff?
He has, but I think they're going to go after a defensive end.
Wow, that'd be interesting.
That's what I think.
All right, then they'd be really. I mean, listen, their defense was 32nd in the league last year in a lot of categories. I think their biggest need might be that, but I just think for value, I think that somebody's going to draft Williams. I think it'll wind up. I think the communists who are up at 11 will be looking at a receiver also.
Yeah, I think the Jets go receiver. I think Wilson needs he definitely needs a go-to guy there.
Yeah.
Seattle's pick is in.
Okay, again, I'm going to say it. I think it's Malik Willis, the quarterback from Liberty. I'd be surprised if he wasn't.
I got to make the change, guys.
I think there's been Jeff. This draft, we're at almost number 10. We're just over an hour into the start of this thing. We started almost 10 after 8. It's 7 minutes after 9, and we are closing in on pick number 9 with the Jets warming up in the bullpen. And you're right, no trades.
There we go.
There he goes. He's got his Seattle pick. And guys, if you love all these uniforms, go to fanatics.com, but go to our website at SundayAudible.com and make your purchases for the NFL through our website. Please do. Again, guys, last seconds.
Oh, wait a minute.
Good.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I saw a trade.
Oh, no. Yeah, I think we're starting to come up now. Here's what I think. Now I think we have to start watching. And I think a lot of the bigger name guys are off the board. And I think now you can start seeing teams dropping and jumping up for needs. I think you can see a lot of different picks coming up in the next few minutes. So, guys, we'll be around for at least the next half hour. We'll see how long we'll go with it. We wanted to make sure we got in to the top 10, which we'll certainly be doing. But we'll see how much deeper into that we'll get to go for you tonight. I don't think we'll be able to make it through the first round, but we'll definitely take it a little longer and see where we go. But again, guys, we're waiting on the pick from the commissioner here at number 9 for the Seahawks. And their team, I think, could use a lot of help. Jordan Davis for the Jets. Jordan Davis is a hell of a player, but they got so many guys on that inside. I just can't see making that move. They're already stacked on the inside, the Jets.
Oh, the pick is in. Pick is in.
With the 9th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks.
Wow.
Charles Cross.
Wow.
Very interesting pick. Very interesting pick.
We definitely didn't expect that one, guys.
No, I have to be honest with you.
I mean,
that is the last pick I thought they were going to take.
And Russell Wilson is at home right now, pretty pissed off.
Yeah, they
let him. No, is he offensive? He's a defensive tackle.
He's an offensive lineman. He's an offensive lineman.
Offensive lineman. He's definitely pissed.
Yep. So what does this say now for Seattle, guys? I mean, you have your offensive lineman now. Is this something where they say, hey, we have some faith in Drew Lock, which I don't believe. And I think, they're looking for a potential Baker Mayfield or somebody like that. I think that's something coming down the road. We could see that.
Guys, what this tells you is that nobody has any faith in these quarterbacks. Nobody is buying into the quarterbacks at this point in the draft because this is a team with a serious need for quarterback. And they went for the 3rd-rated offensive lineman in this draft, and the guy with probably the most question marks. Not saying he won't be a good player. Don't get me wrong.
Listen, dude, how do you know that maybe the Cleveland said that they weren't going to do nothing on the first day? Maybe they get Mayfield. Maybe they really like Drew Lock, these guys. Why? I don't know.
Right.
Maybe there's another.
Drew Lock's mother doesn't like Drew Lock.
What's that?
Drew Lock's mother doesn't like Drew Lock. You're not convincing me that was to do it now. Could they be making a pick right here to use to trade to a team like Cleveland? Anything's possible, Jeff. I won't argue that. But John, to your thing, your team still got the top 2 quarterbacks in this draft, still hanging in there. Jeff, your team's up, and if their choice of I consider the 2 best receivers in the draft between Garrett Wilson from Ohio State and
Yeah, I got a feeling they're
Jameson
going to
Williams?
go receiver.
No, I think there's no doubt in my mind. I think
I would say that if they go with the kid from Alabama,
Mhm.
I understand that he's a good player and everything, but you're talking about somebody that's injured. He's not going to help right away. They'd be better off going with that kid from Ohio State.
I agree.
Again, yeah, I agree with you, Jeff, based on the fact that your team, yes, I know a lot. Yes, Jeff, Matt, you're 100% right. But if you're the Jets, Williams is the right pick because he's potentially the best of the bunch. But yeah, Jeff, coming off the injury, he might not be ready till later in the season, if at all this year. And I think if
I
you're
don't want
the
to
Jets,
wait another year for that.
yeah, Williams is the pick if you're looking for a guy for next year.
If you were a little bit more established at quarterback, I could see waiting the year. Okay. And even though he might be the best, I think you got to go second best at this point in time, simply because you want to help Wilson now. And you want to see what you have in Wilson right now, not what he could possibly have in next year.
I'm with you on that. I'm with the Jets pick is in, Jeff. The Jets pick is in.
All right, let's see, man. I bet you it's that kid from Ohio State.
I think it's Garrett Wilson. I agree, Jeff. I think that's
Tom, I love that board. I love looking at that board and seeing Source God in his name there, man. Brings a fucking tear to my eye, I'm telling you.
I'm sure you do, Jeff.
It really does. It really does.
I'm sure you do.
Sunday sauce. I think that's a great pick, Jeff.
This team is on the way.
Again, so for the Jets, right now, I'll tell you flat out, it's a receiver. I'm taking Wilson right here.
It's just been a crazy experience.
Anybody else venturing a thought here beside me?
Yeah, I'm going with the kid from Ohio State.
I think Wilson to Wilson sounds good.
Wait a minute. What? Oh no, that was never mind. Could be the safety Kyle Hamilton from Notre Dame too. He's been linked to the Jets.
Yeah, and that would make a little bit of sense considering that they lost they traded Adams and then lost May. I would say that's not an unheard, not a crazy thought, Jeff. I still think.
Oh, look at this!
The war room is happy, Jeff.
Oh yes, they are.
Cornerback from Cincinnati. Just get a receiver to match up against him every day in practice. Garrett Wilson, let's go. Only one receiver.
The board is updated. If you see the scroll on the bottom, again, guys, couple of surprises so far. Stingley at 3 to the Texans, way up on most people's board, and of course Charles Cross to the Seattle Seahawks. But Jeff, the pick is in. Jeff, you excited?
Yes, it is. Here we go.
He's excited.
With the 10th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Garrett Wilson, wide receiver.
Oh my God! Oh!
I think it's a great pick. I mean, you got 2 game changers right now for the Jets.
Yeah.
On each side of the ball. I mean, you got Wilson, a target that he desperately needed, and you got the we consider the best defensive back in this draft. I mean, in my opinion, a shutdown corner, and that's a great draft, guys.
Let me tell you something. I think 2 solid game-changing picks by the New York Jets this year. Oh my God.
Yeah, I would say they probably addressed 2 of their biggest needs in this draft so far, Jeff. I mean, if you're a Jet fan, and you are, Sauce Gardner obviously to me was a great pick, and then of course I like Garrett Wilson. I think this is a game-changing guy. This is a guy who can go get the football, right, as you're seeing right now on TV.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He looks a lot taller than his listed 5'11". He's almost 6 foot.
Plays very big,
and he's about 183. But he looks a lot bigger than those numbers.
I would agree with that.
Huh?
I would agree with that. The Washington Communists are up on the clock. Their biggest needs are defensive back, offensive tackle, and linebacker. This is an interesting spot because probably the best player still on the board, guys, is Jermaine Johnson, and I don't think there's a chance in hell they'll take a defensive lineman again after drafting number 1 for the last 20 years, it feels like.
That's it.
Guys, give me thoughts on the Communists. Where did the Communists grab a pick here?
I think they got to go with a wide receiver to help Wentz. They have to.
I see Jameson Williams going here. They
Go ahead.
issues with McLaren too. I mean, what's his situation? I mean, you gotta if you're gonna bring Carson Wentz in here, you gotta get him some weapons too. I mean, it's
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. I mean, I heard some rumblings. The safety could be in order here. I love Kyle Hamilton. Maybe too soon.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, we got a trade.
Columbus just made a trade to the Saints.
Okay.
Does that mean quarterback is on its way in?
I think so.
Jeff, that's exactly what I was just going to say. I think at that point, I think they're moving up for a quarterback. I would be surprised. Unless they're going to go receiver here. Are they jumping up to grab a receiver, Jeff?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Why would you get? Isn't it there is supposed to be a deep receiver class?
Well, there's still two really good ones out there. So I'm a little surprised here. And the Saints are still on the clock. So let's see where they go. I don't know.
Not for nothing. I'm sorry, Tom, but the Saints. This is another team that's traded away a lot of number one picks over the years, aren't they?
Yeah, well, they have two picks in this draft, 16 and 19. So I don't know which pick they moved up with. I think their biggest need to me is tackle and quarterback. They also could use a receiver. So, again, the tackles are gone that you're going to go for here, unless you're going to go with one of the interior offensive linemen. So this is an interesting move right here, guys. John?
And really, if they go quarterback here, what does that say about Jameis Winston? I mean, they set him as their guy. We thought, he was going to be their guy. I could see, Williams going here. I could see.
Do you know what did they sign him to? A 2-year deal?
Yeah, 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, I don't think a quarterback, but you never know.
Did they announce, Jeff, what pick they gave up?
No, nothing yet, Tom.
I see the board. The scroll on the board has Minnesota, Houston. Okay, 13. I'm just trying to follow the board, guys. Sunday Audible, guys. Jeff, John, and Tom hanging out, watching the first round of the NFL draft for you for a few more minutes. Having a blast. This is a lot of fun. We're getting our sea legs under us, as they say, guys. Looks like they traded the number 16 pick, guys.
Number 16?
Yes, I can confirm
16,
that.
and then I wonder what else New Orleans gave up.
You figured out to give something else up. They didn't just swap picks.
So if they gave up that pick, I think that they're looking to. I think they're looking for a receiver here, guys.
It has to be. You know why? Yeah, I agree, John. You know why? If you're them, you have to figure that one of the two quarterbacks at this point we're going to land in your lap at 16. So to me, they probably wanted Williams or the other kid, Olav. Chris Olav from Ohio State. The other, he ran the 40 and 4.3, 6 foot 187. Yeah, I think you're right, John. I think if you were going to make this move, Matt, he's got to. Yeah, I don't think you're moving up in the draft to grab Trevor Penning, a tackle at this point in the draft. So to me, this is a receiver going here to the Saints. Anybody disagree?
No, I don't.
I think that's the reason they would trade because the Commanders were one of those teams looking for a receiver too. So there's got to be a guy they're hot with.
Yeah, and again, interesting. Again, the two corners, the high-rated corners went 3 and 4 in the draft. Bit of a surprise to me, guys. You had the two best offensive linemen going at 6 and 7. And by number 9, the third one's gone. Not a lot of intrigue, but some interesting moves. And what I like about quick pace, this draft is flying.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't for all these commercials that your boy Goodell's trying to push in here, we'd be flying through this draft.
Well, listen, it's all about money. You could already have done 3 rounds with the time that went.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
Exactly.
Yeah,
if you remember when we used to play football out on the street, John, I'm sure you played football with your friends.
Oh, yeah.
It used to start, there was no draft. The draft started when somebody said, well, I'll be odds, you'll be evens. Best out of 3, bang. First pick goes to Joe. He starts first. He picks this one. Oh shit. Oh, man. Wow. How we can't beat that. Then next thing you know, somebody takes a dark horse and it's like, oh, You know,
Right,
it ain't
right.
like that now. It takes too much time. Come on.
That's it.
Right now, so we got the Saints on the board. Minnesota warming up in the bullpen. I think you're going to see a run on receivers right here. So I think here's what I see, guys, and maybe I'm going to be wrong, but I think the Saints think that the Vikings will take in a receiver and probably take in Williams in that spot, and I think they jumped up to grab Williams.
I don't know. We got to find out. That don't look like a happy place right now.
The Saints pick is in, Jeff. We're waiting on the commissioner to get to the podium.
I think they're more happy that the Pelicans are in the playoffs. And depending on what they gave up to move down.
And I think they surprised John because he's not prepared with a Saints jersey. So he didn't.
I can get it on real
Let
quick.
me tell you something. If John was smart, he would have blew his soul out of the water and threw his Pelican jersey on as soon as that trade was
That's it.
announced. That's what he should have done.
So I think this trade was definitely as a result of the Vikings probably grabbing a receiver at that point. Big names on the board, guys. We got Kyle Hamilton, a safety out of Notre Dame. We got Jamison Williams.
He may be a pick right now, Tom.
It's very possible.
So
Jermaine
the
Johnson.
safety. Here we go. Go.
Go ahead. A lot of people on the stage, Jeff, for a pick. Guy in a Kansas City Chiefs jersey, Chargers jersey.
NFL draft is a time of optimism for all.
And why is Gonzalez picked there?
We've got a similar time 2 weeks from tonight when we announce the 2022 schedule on May 12th. This year's schedule will have a new twist as our Thursday night games will be carried by a new partner, Amazon Prime Video. Joining me are Chargers and Chiefs season ticket members James Go and Moose Felt. Also here is Pro Football Hall of Famer Tony Gonzalez, who will be part of the Prime Video broadcast team. Congratulations, Tony.
That fan is bigger than fucking Gonzalez, man. What happened? That guy shrink or something?
Tell you what, I am excited to be part of this broadcast.
Amazon took a lot out of him, I guess.
You may recognize him.
Somebody did.
He's going to be helping for the Prime Video, which will be airing on week 2 of the NFL season, September 15th. Los Angeles running back Austin Eckler. Huh?
Here we go.
As you can tell, probably it's no surprise. The first game that we're going to kick it off is going to be out in the Arrowhead on Thursday night against the Chargers. And I tell you what, Austin, if you want my opinion about this game, whoever has the ball last is going to win this game. At least
That's a good game right there.
Yeah.
Tell me what you think.
Yeah.
Look, it doesn't get much better than this. It doesn't get much better than
But I
this.
tell you what, this is going to be interesting this year. Christmas Day is a Sunday.
3
They're
games.
going to have three games. The day before, they're going to have 12 games, which is they'll play the NFL regular season there. And there was another day, and now they want to have Amazon Prime wants a Friday, a Black Friday day after Thanksgiving game,
It's touchdowns, great defense.
which
We're gonna see you there.
because they want to draw attention to the obviously that's their biggest day of the year.
Right.
We're gonna have to do a show just on the schedule when it comes out. So be prepared.
I think they forgot to announce the state's pick.
They
Pass it up.
passed it up. They're on to the Steelers right now.
Man, they all fucking walked away.
You have to buy the pick on Amazon, maybe.
The 11th pick to the New Orleans Saints. With the 11th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Chris Olave.
Olave. Chris Olave.
They did take the receiver. They did not Williams. People are afraid of the injury, John.
Yep.
People are afraid of the injury.
And that's what we discussed right there. I mean, that was something that they knew Washington was going after.
Yeah.
You know, they had their guy. They wanted to make the move, and that's the reason they did it.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Evidently, Washington wasn't going after this guy because they would have stayed right where they were and taken him.
100%. The communists need a defensive back and an offensive tackle more than they need anything. So I guess they're dropping down to grab somebody there. I'm a little surprised, not by the position, but by who it was. I think Chris Olave is the second best receiver on the Ohio State team, and a good one. potentially he's nowhere near as good as Williams is. But guys, I guess people are just afraid of the injury and the fact he won't play this year, probably or he'll miss a good part of this year.
Yeah, it's really tough to draft a guy that's that's hobbled already, and
Yeah.
Listen, he's a wide receiver. I know that they've made leaps and bounds with knee surgeries in the last years, 10, 15, 20 years, whatever. But I mean, you're going to take a first round pick. You want somebody that's going to make an impact today, not tomorrow. Tomorrow is just way too late, in my eyes.
Yeah,
I agree.
Listen.
I agree.
Again, it depends on your team. If you're a team that's kind of stacked, you got and you the Detroit, the Lions are picking here. The Lions made a trade with the Vikings. The Lions are on the clock, and their pick is in. I'm interested to see where we're at. I'm gonna the board.
Share your thoughts. Are you gonna go switch Garb again or what?
I got to. Hold on, guys.
Okay, so now it's interesting here, Jeff. They moved up. Obviously, they had the next pick was number 32. They moved up here to the Viking spot. Is that to grab a receiver? Is that to grab a quarterback?
Maybe it's to get a quarterback at this point in time.
Yeah, it's an interesting.
I mean, at number 12, not a quarterback was taken. You don't even hear the announcers talk about a quarterback at this point.
When was the last draft we covered together that a quarterback wasn't taken in the first round, first 10 picks? Maybe never.
Never happens. Never happens.
This has to be the first time that you and I have done this together.
Look at this.
All right, we're back now.
John, I just asked Jeff, when do you think the last time we've had a draft where a quarterback wasn't taken in the top 10?
I can't even remember that, Tommy.
It's got to be 15 years or better.
It has to be.
I can't remember the last time that I went through a draft and we're at pick number 12 and we don't have a quarterback taken in the draft at this point.
I think we might see one here, Tommy. I mean, I think
that's all I could say right now. You see this?
Yeah.
You see this?
Yeah.
The next time that you see somebody with this shirt on and they're going like this, it's going to be Wilson on the back, not Namath.
Oh,
baby.
my God. Here we go. Oh, my God.
What color Gatorade is Salah going to look best wearing?
Do not call the authorities. Jeff is not cooking meth in his basement. I promise you. It's just he's overcome with glee that the Jets did something right.
Yo, baby.
That's it.
But interesting moves right now. Now we're getting to the meat of this thing because these are moves. You see teams dropping down. I mean, we don't know what people get, and now Detroit's moving down. Now we were right. The Saints moved up to grab a receiver.
This doesn't exactly look like another happy place either. Like these guys, you know why they moved up? You know why they moved up, right?
Why should they go home early?
Exactly. They want to get the fuck out of there. Has to be.
Hey, this is the Sunday Audible coverage of the 2022 NFL Draft. Jeff Talwinski, John Marhefka, Tommy Floria hanging in there with you guys. It's been a blast so far. We got a couple more picks before this one's going to be over for us, but that's okay. We did a nice job here tonight. We learned a lot. We got a lot more shows to do this year, so make sure you check out SundayAudible.com. You'll see replays of this and all of our shows, and you can also get links and order your NFL gear right there, including merch from our show. So make sure you check that out. Hey guys, so we got Detroit on the clock. They moved up from 32 all the way to 12 to get somebody. I gotta think it's a quarterback. I gotta think right here it's a quarterback. I gotta be honest with you. I'm going Kenny Pickett. I'm gonna throw it out on a limb here. I think they moved up to grab a quarterback, guys.
I don't know. Isn't their defensive end still available? Who did they take? Their first pick, a defensive end, right?
They took Aiden Hutchinson, so they're not going defensive.
So they may be looking for an offensive lineman. Isn't there an offensive lineman still available?
There's a few guys still. I'll tell you who's left. I mean,
There is.
Jermaine Johnson still around. The kid Carl Loftus from Purdue still hanging in there. They could go Trent McDuffie, Washington defensive.
Here we go.
They got Penning as well.
Yeah, Penning is a good one, right? Too.
With the 12th pick in the 2022.
Jameson Williams.
The Detroit Lions select Jameson Williams.
Williams.
Wow. Now that's surprising for me because this is a guy who will not help this team for at least part of the season.
Right.
But,
right. Who were they trying to to jump get that? I mean, I guess that was Washington again.
Could have been Baltimore.
What the fuck is up with these? They look like Boys to Men, and their lead singer just left the band. What the fuck is going on there? Jesus Christ.
What the hell's he wearing? Jeff, you got to get him some pants, Jeff. You got to get him some
Gotta
pants.
get him something.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for something to fall out the bottom of the leg.
Get him the Jets pants.
There you go. This is an interesting pick for me. This is a team that, listen, when the guy's healthy, he's the best receiver in the country. There is no doubt in my mind. He plays tough. He's got speed to burn. He's a great. He take over a game.
Wow, he is fucking fast.
Yeah,
he has one leg right now.
But that's the problem. So to me, it's a great move. It's a good pickup. The guy, he'll help you on specials, the whole bit. But I just got to be honest with you. I don't think he's going to be the guy this year.
They just flashed this kid's weight up on the screen. Okay, 173 pounds, I think it was. They said.
Yes, yeah.
The last thing I want to do is put him on special teams.
Well,
I'm dead serious. He'll bounce over somebody like a crumb.
Well, okay, so now the guys, we've got the Detroit Lions moved up. We don't know the deal yet, but now on the clock is the Houston Texans. Still have some needs.
Philly's pick is in. Philly has made a pick.
Oh, so Philly moved up. So now Philly just made a trade with Houston guys. So why is Philly moving up at that point?
I think Philly's looking for an interior defensive lineman.
Jordan Davis, I think maybe right here.
I could see that right there. Yeah,
could be Jordan Davis going right here. Interesting. Now they've moved around a couple times in this draft so far, and not tonight, but beforehand. This is an interesting pick right here. And again, teams are dropping down. Teams are looking for other things right now.
Man, wow. I can't believe the Jets pick. I'm so happy about the Jets picks, man. Oh, my God.
You better get some ornaments on that Christmas tree, too. Some Jets
there you
ornaments.
go.
What's that?
I said, you've had a great day today. I mean, it's like Christmas, so get some Jets ornaments on that Christmas
I got the
tree.
fucking Christmas tree. It's still up, bro.
Load it up with ornaments.
You could go edge rush here. Jermaine Johnson's fallen. This was a guy who was people were talking about maybe being the number one pick in the draft, and he is still hanging in there at 12 and 13 now.
Hey, listen, one thing I want to just bring up, guys.
Yeah.
Deebo Samuel has not been traded yet. Baker Mayfield has not been traded yet.
Very good points. Very good point.
DK Metcalf has not been traded yet.
I'll tell you this. I think you could see a lot of stuff happening between today and tomorrow. Once teams have made their picks.
I don't know. You know what?
You can see it happening.
The Jets that were linked to Samuel, why would they give up anything now? They already got one of the best receivers.
But that's my point out. So now the teams that missed out on, the teams that didn't get the receiver they wanted could be looking to go make a move for Deebo Samuel. The team that didn't get the quarterback they wanted could make the move for Baker Mayfield. So I think teams are waiting to see what they did in the round, and then they can make those kind of moves. But do I think Deebo Samuel's going anywhere? I don't. I think he's staying right where he is.
Yeah, I think so too, because why would you want to trade a player like Deebo Samuel for next year's picks?
He's not happy. If he's not happy, he's not happy. That's the problem. But yeah,
I understand that, but you try to make him happy for at least this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, listen, Jeff, I'm with you. I don't disagree with you at all. I'm just saying is when a guy comes out publicly and says basically I don't want to come back. But we got the Houston Texans up on the board yet. Actually, the Eagles pick is in at 13. So they've traded out with Houston, and then we got Baltimore, and then Houston, I guess, would make that swap at 15. So maybe we'll hang in there till 15, guys. Then I need to call this a night, unfortunately, from my end. But so far so good. This has been I tell you, it's not been boring. It's moved quick. Some years we've sat here kind of talking for 10 minutes, and you're still waiting for the pick to come in. So,
I got to say that you're right. This year's draft has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
John, thank you for being with us, man, for doing this one with us. A hell of a blast. Even though it was like being in Vegas and watching Cher play. But I wouldn't have wanted how to do it any other way this year. You brought a lot to the table, man. Thank you. It was a lot of fun having you, man. I hope we do it again next year too. The three of us.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it, guys. Believe me, I love being here. I thank you for inviting me. I mean, this is a
Oh, no problem.
This
What we
is not
need
about
is
this, the Sunday Audible show, man. This is the three of us. This isn't you being invited. This is our gig. So next Thursday night, the Hard Rock and Sports Show will return, and we will be doing a kind of a preview. We'll kind of give Jeff some time. He'll have a whole week of smiling to come up next week and tell us how great his Jets did. So be ready, folks. I guarantee you the first half hour, 45 minutes is going to be nothing but Jeff telling me how great Robert Salah and Joe Douglas are.
Dude, they proved it tonight. Come on, man.
I would tell you this, guys. I would tell you if you're a Giant fan, you had a good night tonight.
Let me
I
ask you
don't think
something.
the season's gonna be-
Dead serious, Tom. Dead serious. If I said to you, I'll trade my 2 picks tonight for your 2 picks that you guys made tonight, what would you say?
Oh, I would do it. Sure.
There you go.
I
I would not take yours.
I disagree. You would take mine in a heartbeat.
No, I would not.
Yes, you would.
No, I would not. I said I wanted Sauce Gardner. I got him. The kid from I was hoping to get the kid from USC, the receiver from USC.
Drake London.
Yeah, we didn't get him. We got the one from Ohio State, as you know,
Yep,
which I
yep.
think is
Garrett
a great
Wilson.
move.
I think you got the better of the two. To be honest with
Yeah.
you, Jeff. I don't know how John feels. I think getting Wilson and Gardner, you guys had an A+ night.
Yeah,
I agree. That's a total A+ night.
Yeah. I don't think you could have did it any better. You filled 2 big needs. I think it would have been a stretch for an offensive lineman, and even for a defensive lineman. I know you need the edge rusher, but this just filled a huge need right now. So I think it's a great night by both local teams here. I got some questions about the Houston picks. Seattle, again, I'm going to question their pick a little bit too. Other than that, it's been an interesting first round. It kind of went as people thought with a run on offensive lineman and defensive lineman. I just thought the defensive backs going 3 and 4 was a very big surprise to me.
I agree. I think that shows really, a lot about the league too. Is with it being a league now where you can't even touch the receivers, you need a guy that's a blanket corner like that.
Yeah,
and that's why there's so much in need in this league, and and we're seeing that right here in this draft.
Another big one was Trayvon Walker going to top of the draft before Hutchinson, before Thibodeau, before Jermaine Johnson, who's still hanging out there right now. I think that was another interesting thing for me right now, guys. Was Jeff that Trayvon Walker went so quick in the draft? There was a lot of talk about it, but I'm shocked by it.
Yeah, I agree. He only have like 6.5 sacks in his last year of college. So
one more change, guys.
So they
I don't know if he's going to make it in time. I don't know
if he's going to get there, Jeff. Is he going to come up with an eagle? I'm going to have to get him off the screen if he's wearing eagle colors. The birds are flying. We're waiting on the commission to get up to the podium. The pick has been in for a while. Again, he's got 25 people on the stage with him again. Can we just make the picks and move on?
Looks like a bad rap video.
Yeah.
I really got to get comfortable.
There he goes. Now we're talking. There it is.
Let's see what my boys are going to do tonight.
That's it.
Joining me for the Eagles pick are 6 high school tackle and flag football captains from teams across Clark County and Las Vegas. They truly exemplify the NFL's values of respect, integrity, resiliency, and responsibility to their teams. Congratulations to all of you on your accomplishments, and good luck on the upcoming season.
Thanks, sir.
Hey, nobody's given a Will Smith slap to Goodell either yet.
Traded
That may be coming up.
to the Philadelphia Eagles. With the 13th pick in the 2022 NFL
Jordan Davis.
The Philadelphia Eagles select Jordan Davis.
That's one big dude. Jordan Davis is one big dude, the best defensive tackle in the draft. Let me see if I can give you some stats on
The
Jordan.
guy's a beast.
Oh my God, from Georgia. Yeah, I mean, as good an interior player as there is in the country right now. I gotta tell you, that's a huge pick by the.
It's a big man, bro.
That's a big man right there, Jeff. That's a lot of cloth rolled around that guy.
Good God, that's a big throw.
Yeah. The Baltimore Ravens pick is in. They're on the clock, and they're in already, Jeff. The Ravens pick number 14 is
I
in.
wonder if it's a trade.
It is not a trade. The Ravens pick is in. So Houston's up on deck from their trade with the Eagles. This is a guy who could have easily went in the top 10 if not for the plethora of talent in front of him. He's a big man who can play.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean,
He is a big bro. Man. Holy shit. This guy may be the biggest guy I've seen in the draft so far. What's the measurements on this guy?
I'm looking for my stat sheet with it, Jeff. I'm not so.
They measure this guy like a Clydesdale? This guy is
trying to pull it up yet.
Hold on, I got it. Jordan Davis is 6'6", 340.
340?
Yeah, 6'6" and 340. A mountainous lane clogger.
How is he not a nose tackle?
Well, he plays interior. Most teams don't play the 3-4 anymore. But yeah, that's a monster. If you have a problem with your running game, he is your guy. He is your guy.
Yeah, you're looking like a Vince Wilfork, somebody huge like that. That's just, I mean, is a force in the middle, and that's something that Philly needed. So I don't know about Barkley running into that brick wall, Tommy.
Yeah, that is the proverbial brick wall.
Look at the size of his hand. His hands are the size of Goodell's head.
That's it.
Yep. Okay, so we're waiting on the Ravens pick. That'll end our night with the number 15 in the draft. We've gotten to 9:45. Guys, let's we'll start our goodbyes with right now while we're waiting. But I want to thank you boys for doing this together with me. This has been a blast, and I can't believe how good a time I had with this one. This was a lot of fun.
It definitely was, guys. I appreciate it. I mean, this entire, from the beginning of last season all the way up until now, I mean, we're starting to establish a good following. But, having you two guys as friends, I mean, from the record label part of it now to this, I'm all smiles. I mean, I have two guys that I could talk football with all the time. You both make me laugh. I love you guys like brothers, even though we've never met. Thank you for getting me on here.
Hopefully one day soon,
yes.
we'll cross that one off the list because I would love to just hang out in person with you guys.
Have a beer and talk sports music. 100%.
No doubt about that. I can't wait to hear the chat tomorrow too.
Oh, please.
I'm already laughing because I know.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. I'm waiting. I'm gonna let him go. He had such a good. I'm gonna give him the chance to go first tomorrow. So he'll get the first salvo in. I promise.
With me?
Yeah.
I'm too happy to fuck with you, man. Dude, all I got to say is one thing. You got Thibodeau.
Yes.
That's all I got to say.
All right. Could be a game changer. Could be the next 56 running around out there.
Could be. Could be the next Vernon Golston, too.
That's true. There it is, Tommy. There it is, my brother. We'll see with the Jordan Davis.
And not for nothing. Not for nothing. I'd be a little bit more concerned with this guy in your division now.
Listen, again, they still have Jalen Hurts. That's all I have to. That's
doesn't
it.
matter.
Yeah.
There's people you ain't gonna get past him. That guy's fucking monstrous.
He is a monster, but
that's a good pick, and he's quick too.
Yes, he's a big guy. It's gonna be a blast, and we got both New York teams. So next Thursday night, the Hard Rocket Sports Show will be doing our review of the draft. We'll get to go through all the picks because this isn't it, guys. We made a lot of picks tonight, but there's still plenty to go. We got a couple tomorrow and another 3 or 4 on Saturday. So keep a heads out for that. We'll get all of this up on the Sunday Audible website. Maybe when it's done, we'll try to find a way to upload the entire draft or at least the first round. We'll give you how it shakes out. And eventually one of these days we'll do some blogs and we'll tell you what we think about the NFL draft and how it went.
Do you think they should have told Ice-T to dye his hair before he came on TV tonight?
Yeah, he should have.
His gray is showing through.
Ice Cube is getting old, man. Holy cow!
Ice Cube, not Ice-T, whatever. Who the fuck is? John, you're supposed to be handling this aspect of it, man.
See, this is insight that you can't get anywhere else.
No.
This is it. This is the way sports talk should be. Sitting around the table,
this is
enjoying it from a fan's point.
There is a lot of cloth on this man. I have to tell you, holy cow! That is a
Yeah.
big dude, man. Holy
A
cow.
lot of cloth, I think, is an understatement, bro.
Yes, holy cow. But that is going to be an interesting season, but it's been a great show. I want to thank everybody who's paid attention along the way. Not only the people on the website here, but I got 3 or 4 people who are texting me while listening to us while we're doing the show. So I want to thank everybody.
Are they making fun of us or are they agreeing with us?
Oh, a lot of it's all good. It's all good. The commission is up. Jeff, give us the last one.
All right, man. Here we go.
Ravens pick is in.
I bet you they take that safety.
They do called it.
Ravens
Yep.
select Kyle Hamilton.
There you go.
There you go. Good call. That one, but considered by some people to be the best player in this draft, the most pro-ready, and a guy that will be a big difference maker. Safety out of Notre Dame. This kid's going to be a good player. This could be the game changer. A lot of teams, thought he might be that guy.
You know, you look at these guys, and you look at this kid in particular because he's on the screen now.
Yeah.
And how fucking young these fucking kids look. Oh my God.
Nothing like when we watched Quinn Williams get drafted. That I remember, Jeff. He looked like he was 13 years old, and he snuck onto the stage in his father's suit.
Well, not for nothing. This kid looks like he should be in the house, getting ready for bed too.
Guys, we're going to end it right here. The Texas pick is in, but we won't be here for it. We wish everybody a great night. It's been a lot of blast, guys. Jeff, first, anything you want to end with?
I can't wait for September, Tom. I'm looking so forward to the Jets' new season. I want to see Sauce Gardner. I want to hear cries of Revis Island. Oh, my God, man. Wesley Walker, Al Toon, Crabette. Oh, man. Now fucking this kid from Ohio State. Oh, God damn. Keyshawn. Oh, my God. Oh.
John, I want to wish the Steelers good luck tonight. It looks like the quarterback may be dropping into your lap right now, so I'll be paying attention. I'm sure we'll be using the thread, and we'll have some fun. But John, thanks for all you did tonight. You guys did a great job. I'll give you your final words.
Well, I just want to thank everybody for listening in. Remember, not only the SundayAudible.com and the Fanatics affiliate, NFL.com, you're able to get on our website. There's going to be special promo codes that we're going to be getting out there, a lot of advertising. SundayAudible.com. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and the YouTube page. Don't forget to hit that like button on YouTube. I mean, we're trying to grow this fan base. We're trying to get the fans more involved. We're going to see more prize giveaways for the Sunday Audible merchandise. And I just want to thank you guys again for letting me be a part of this. I mean, it's it's my passion. And then now I got 2 guys that have it as their passion. I love talking to you guys, and it made my night.
My favorite draft to date, guys. I want to thank John and Jeff and everybody out there who paid attention and watched this this first version of the Sunday Audible 2022 draft with us, and we look forward to doing it again next year. But there's plenty of shows along the way. Please check out SundayAudible.com for more information on this show and upcoming shows. And I want to thank everybody out there. So, guys, please enjoy the rest of the draft this weekend. Pay attention. We'll have some stuff on social media. I'm sure Jeff will do some. Oh, Jeff can't post. He's in jail still. So I'll post for him.
2.5 weeks.
Yeah. So be ready for that later on. But for Jeff Tomlinski, John Marhefka, and everybody here at the Sunday Audibles, I'm Tommy Florian. I say thank you for tuning in tonight. And we look forward to seeing you down the road. So everybody have a great night and enjoy the draft. Boys, I love you both, and great job tonight. I will talk to you off the air.
Love you too, guys. Good. Congratulations on the drafts too, both of you.
Yep, absolutely.
Excellent draft.
Good job.
Later, man. Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me part of this show, man. I appreciate it. Brothers.
See you, brothers.
Better believe it.
Later.
See you guys.
Bye.